All right, looks like I'm live, guys. How's it going? Let's see who's here tonight. Mateo, how's it going, man? Seth, what's up, Seth? E-Rock, hello to you too. Ninja Scout, what's up, man? Good evening. M4 Johnny, how's it going? Yeah, how's it going tonight, guys? So, I'll see how long I can hold out on you guys. Probably not very long at all, but I just thought, normally whenever I go into a into any kind of gun tuber stream, you ever notice that they won't answer you at all or even acknowledge you're there whatsoever unless it's only in a super chat? So hopefully you guys understand the humor and irony in the title of the video. So Tree, how's it going, man? I mean, I'll say hi to you guys for free. Don't get me wrong. Bastard, that's why you come back, right? Nothing normal about this channel, he says. There you go. I don't really think I want to be normal. M4 Johnny, we're going to call you Throwback Johnny. Calling me Glock again. Man, Glock Shooter left the building like a month ago, but that's all right. My friends can still call me Glock. I'll still respond to it, and I still know what you're talking about, I think. Matt Morrison, what's happening, man? I guess I better make sure I'm posing with a Glock here, okay? Cave Dave, what's happening, man? Oh, see, I see what's going on now. There's nothing normal about this. Cave Dave always calls me Glock. But since I said to call me Glock, now he's calling me 2AEDU. So I guess I better throw this thing in the garbage, right? These aren't allowed on the channel anymore. White Space Marines, what's happening, man? Yeah, luckily for you guys, though, speaking of normal gun tube channels, even though, you know, I've shown this light, thank God these guys are not a sponsor of my channel. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, look, in one sense, I totally get it and I'm totally fine with it, right? Like, these guys need to make a living. A lot of them are doing gun tube full time. So I want them to make money. I'm happy for them that Olight's their sponsor. But, how annoying is it when you go into your subscription feed? And it seems like it used to be like twice a year. Then it was like every couple months. And now it's like once a month, if not every couple weeks. You go in your feeds and it's like the new Olight ... And I'm like literally scrolling through my feeds like rapid pace. Like, you know, the scrolling isn't fast enough anymore. So I'm just holding the page down until I finally see something in my feed that doesn't say the word Olight. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Look, the lights are fine. I mean, I've even done reviews of their manicure kit. Now, how many of these Olight shills? Here's the thing. These guys are these big Olight shills. They all have Olight on there constantly. None of them have taken the time to do their manicure kit. See, I did. But yeah, you're not going to see the new, I can't even remember what it's called anymore, guys. There's that new whatever weapons light, and if you buy it, you get the free keychain light. And yeah, I didn't even watch any of the videos about it. And I still know the promotion just because it's like, it just kind of like radiates through your brain, whether you want it to or not. And you're like, man, I'd like to see a gun. Like, I subscribe to gun channels. Olight, 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 Olight. Olight, 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 Olight. Fuck, the mouse battery's dead. The batteries are dead on my mouse. What am I? All right, rechange the battery. Olight, 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 Olight. Yeah. That's pretty much how I start to feel after a while. And here's the thing. I'm actually a fan, guys. And trust me, this is not an Olight stream. I guarantee it's not. But, you know, I carry this S1 Baton Mini. Okay? I even have one of these, R50s. But, no. No Olight. No Olight shilling here ever. So, everybody go and unsub right now. Don't let me get big, because if I get big and Olight bribes me enough, then I'm going to be part of the Olight, 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 Olight. And then the problem is we'll need batteries. And then that's the best idea ever. Actually, guys, now that I think about it, I'm going to become an Olight shill. Okay? And then as a side hustle, I am going to start shilling for the battery companies. Just so, because think about it. You're literally like wearing out your mouse battery, scrolling through these Olight videos, so I can start saying, and if you buy the Olight from my referral link today, we're going to throw in this free pack of generic batteries job smart. They last like a tenth as long as anything else, but that's good. That's a good thing because trust me, you use these, you'll be back soon to buy another flashlight to get these free batteries. So, what do you guys think? Is that a good? I think I might know where I'm going to be heading with this channel now that I think about it. See, you guys talked me into it. Matt Morrison just talked me into it, guys. He said, "Man, you're missing the boat here. You can sell batteries too." All right, let's see who else popped in here. Poor Conservative, what's happening, man? Poor Conservative's kind of a. Here's the thing with this guy. He's kind of a lefty. And let me explain this. He's a lefty by definition, right? So, if you've got Michigan here, okay? Now, look. I'm on the right side of the state. Poor Conservative, he's all the way over there. Like, if he goes much further, he's going to fall into that big lake that separates us from, like Chicagoland. So, look. I'm not trying to knock the guy's politics. I'm not even going to knock the fact that poor Conservative likes 40 Smith & Wesson. He's just, by definition, he's on the left side of the state. You guys know what I'm saying? So you guys can just call him Lefty from now on. Oh, let's see who else is here. Big Bad Jones. How's it going, man? Long time no see. How you doing, man? How's your family? How's the business going? Yeah, good to see you, Big Bad. Hopefully some more videos soon. I always liked your videos. I don't think you've put out any in a while, and I'm not pressuring you. I know life's busy, but I like your videos, man. Give Big Bad Jones a little peer pressure to put out more videos, guys. I always liked his videos. Like Matt Morrison said, yeah, there's always a video about them. Like always, always, always. And like Ninja's saying, even channels that aren't gun channels have Olight commercials. All right. I need to stop thinking about Olight. I don't have my little carry-on doggy bag like the stewardess gives you on the plane flight. So here's another old buddy of mine, Francis P. How's it going, man? Long time no see. Yeah. I haven't seen you in a little while. See, Ninja Scout's got my back. Good gimmick, he says, Show for the cheap batteries. Yep, there you go. Poor Conservative, 34 miles from Lake Michigan. And I'm really close to another Great Lake, too. So I'm starting to think me and this guy have something in common. Except for that he's a 40 guy, okay? And as you guys already know from my last stream, I'm more of a 22 long rifle only type of guy. So that's where me and poor Conservative differ because, with 40, here's the problem. It's a compromise, okay? This is a compromise round. I can carry like 50 rounds of 22 long rifle for every 2 cartridges he can carry. And what he's forgetting about is 22 long rifle is lethal. You just got to get right behind and below the ear in this exact spot. And yeah, so there really isn't much of a debate anymore. I'm just humoring some of these guys in here like Mateo. I mean, there's another one. He still, for some reason, thinks 40's alive too. So, and I actually thought I saw Ninja Scout talking about a 40 the other day. I mean, what's wrong with you guys? Look, one more time here. This is all you guys need. I mean, this is all you need right here. Okay? Now, this even specifies on here high velocity. I'd like to see you guys show me a high velocity 40 where it literally says high velocity. And I don't care about your chronographs. That stuff doesn't matter. That's all BS. I want you guys to present me a box of 40 that actually says the word high velocity on it. Then we can talk, okay? And by the way, precision, find me a box of your 40 ammo, okay? Mateo, Ninja Scout, and poor Conservative, okay? Here's the challenge, guys. Find me a box of 40 that says both precision and high velocity, both on it. Until then, whatever, guys. Just whatever, I don't really need to say anything else. I think I just won. What do you think, Francis? Did I just win? I think I got those guys pretty good right there. Big Bad Jones, been doing great, man. I'm trying to get some videos together. Been having technical difficulties lately, so still trying to work it out. I get it, man. I really do, actually. Eventually, I'd like to get a nicer camera here. I mean, What's weird though about speaking of this camera, this webcam is actually high definition, right? And when I record a regular standalone video using this exact camera, using my own software that I bought, the video comes out high res, right? And then when I do the streams, it says 1080p, like on my little screen right up here to the right, it says HD 1080p, okay? But then when they put it up there later, it's all like grainy. So I don't know if buying a better camera would help with that, or if it's just YouTube like downgrades the quality of the streams just for their own server and bandwidth reasons. I don't know. I thought I saw someone else pop in here earlier that I didn't say hi to. Tree Guy, did I say hi to you? If not, I'll say hi to you again. If I'm saying hi to Tree Guy twice, yeah, I like him twice as much as the rest of you guys. But I just definitely don't want to miss him. Trey Orr, how's it going, Trey Orr? Only if Simon says, LOL. Okay, Simon says if you're in the stream and you haven't said hi to me yet, you have to say hi. Sound good? And this 357 SIG kind of says you have to too, okay? So, now look, you can totally hate 40 and like 357 SIG because the 357 SIG has nothing to do with the 40 round at all whatsoever. I think some guy did some video the other day, something about that, where he was shooting what was he shooting? A 9mm out of a 357 SIG? Did you guys hear about that video? All right, who else have we got in here? Ribo09, how's it going, man? AJC, what's happening? Chuck Kaplan, how's it going, Chuck? There you go. They're all coming out of the woodwork now. I said, please, 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 someone say hi to me. I want at least to make one friend tonight. Nobody, nothing. As soon as I say, yeah, 357 SIG, I even saw a couple of those 40 guys over here kind of wince a little bit when I said that. So, yeah. Ooh, 7.62 by 25 is better than 357 SIG and 40. Well, it's funny you said that, Francis, because I was actually going to show you guys a gun in a few minutes here. Kind of a little bargain that's available right now on the primary market that's chambered in 7.62 by 25. So if there's any Tokarev fans in the house, I was going to show you guys a little gun. Who else have we got in here? Edward Kent. What's happening, Edward? How you doing, man? Richard Hughes. How's it going, Richard? What's happening, man? Fierce Mouse. How's it going? 10 millimeter is the best millimeter, but 9mm is king. Yeah, because I think 40 basically is 40 short and weak, right? Like it's the short and weak version of the 10mm. Just saying. Now, Mateo said earlier he's going to cheat a little bit. Did I see something about a civil defense? Ugh. Well, I'm sorry, man. If you're going to cheat with that, you're kind of cheating yourself, I'd say a little bit, right? Space Marines, absolutely. Yes, sir. He says, I have a question. Does anyone else have an issue with having to have more than one rifle and a caliber, just in case one breaks, just to justify lots of ammo? Abso-freaking-lutely. Like, yeah. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Now, here's the only issue I have with your statement, okay? I'm 100% with you, but you can't just say rifle because it also applies to handguns too, right? Like, there might be a whole box of Tokarevs right here just so I can justify the existence of a certain caliber of ammo. So, yeah. Let's see here. Richard Hughes, you're doing good? Cool, man. Good to hear. I bet you it's actually warm where you're at. See, I've been complaining, guys. You always have to complain when you live in Michigan. That's the thing. Just ask Poor Conservative and whoever else is from Michigan in here. I know there's quite a few guys from Michigan hanging out, but look, it was like 86, 87 degrees 3 days ago. So, of course, I'm complaining, and I've been sweating in all my streams. Now, all of a sudden, the bottom dropped out, and it's 52 degrees here. So, guess what I'm doing, guys? Now I'm complaining because it's too cold. So, here's the thing. I love 50-degree weather. It's really not too cold, but when my body was just used to it 3 days ago, being almost 90, feels a little bit cold, you know? Let's see here. Yeah, White Space Marines. That's true, unless it's a Mac, because you cannot kill them. You know what? I need to bring some Makarovs out one time and do a stream or some videos on some Makarovs, Makarov variants. I'm kind of sort of more of a Tokarev guy as far as com block stuff goes, but I don't know. I like me a Makarov a little bit too. Yeah, Mateo, I know you don't use civil defense. That was my look, dude. I'm not going to let poor conservative have all the fun, okay? I mean, I've called him a lofty today. I've ripped on 40, which is also ripping on you too. I get that. I just want to rip on you guys tonight, okay? Is that fine? Look, here's the deal. Every other gun stream you've gone into this week, you had to pay a super chat before they'd answer you. And then you logged in thinking the coast was clear. And then guess what happened? Dun, 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 dun. Then Olight happened. And it completely and utterly destroyed your YouTube feed. So when you come here, I don't want you guys to think you're off in some foreign land. You know, I want to be mean to you guys. I want to be, condescending. I want to be extremely greedy because I want you guys to feel like you're still part of the gun community, okay? Man. Okay, Mateo, would you like some cheese with that wine or what? I don't really even know what else to say to you, man. Uh-oh. Braster brought up Chinese rifles. Okay, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that because then I'm totally going to get sidetracked. I'm not going to get to show you the Tokarev. I'm just going to go grab Chinese rifles because there's something about Chinese rifles. And this is for Trey Orr. No, man, you know what, man? Screw you. No Olight commercial? All right, guys, you guys can thank Trey Orr for this. I'm just going to cue up some elevator music, and this is going to be the rest of the stream here. Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. Da-dun-dun-dun, da-dun. Da-dun-dun-dun, da-dun. Da-dun-dun-dun, da-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun, da-dun. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't sing, guys. In fact, Braster brings up a point. The Chinese had a round called the 7.62 by 54R, but it's 55R rather, but it's very rare. Yeah, it's probably pretty rare. And they probably chambered it in some Chinese Mausers, like you're saying, but I actually have a Chinese Mauser, and mine's chambered in 8mm. I have one of those so-called Chiang Kai-shek Mausers that when you first look at it, the roll mark, it looks like it has a swastika, but it's not. It's actually inverted. You guys know what I'm talking about? I think I remember someone telling me years ago that it might have been the Native Americans or something like that used to use something that looks like a swastika, but it's inverted and it was actually a symbol for peace. Is that the story? I know it's something like that, but yeah, it has something that almost looks like that on the crest, and I know it's called like a Chiang Kai-shek Mauser. I can't Chinese very well, so. Let's see here. How'd this guy get in here? SwitchPod, how's it going, man? What's happening? I told Francis to watch the door. He was supposed to be my doorman for the night, and then all of a sudden, look who strolls on in. SwitchPod's here. All right, you can stay for tonight, but next time I'm going to need to kind of, up my security a little bit, obviously. People are just sneaking in here left and right. And Cave Dave, yeah, the Cherokee. I thought it was something like that. And now, like White Space Marines is saying, with the Chinese, it's probably actually a Buddhist. So it appears there's variations of what we kind of call the swastika. There's variations of it, depending on how it's tilted, that's been used by a lot of ancient cultures. How do I like that 8mm? As far as that gun goes, it's fine. It reminds me of more like a Gewehr 98 pattern. 8mm Mauser in general, I actually love. I think it's a really, really good round. It's a very powerful round, and yeah, I definitely think there might be, ammunition out today, newer rounds with a better BC than 8mm Mauser, sure. But is it still a modern round in my opinion? Absolutely. Big, big fan of the 8mm Mauser. So Braster's saying lots of Indians used it. It was on the Arizona road signs to World War II. Were they using the actual one or was it rotated? Because I kind of I'm not really an expert on that. I do have quite a few German guns that have that insignia on it. I'm into collecting old guns, but I've never had any, any like really following or Like, look, I think basically the Third Reich was a bunch of pieces of crap. National Socialists. I've never liked a socialist, no matter what it brands itself as. I don't care if it was with Hitler, if it was a socialist with Lenin, Stalin, or even if it's Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren. I don't like any form of socialist whatsoever. So, although I'm into their weaponry only because it's like, history of the wars, World War II in that case, sure. But actually studying them themselves, yeah, I've studied them enough to know they're pieces of crap, basically. Jeez, oh, Pete, you guys are giving me an education here. It sounds like half the countries in the world have something like that. JC has a question. I did say Q&A, and even though he didn't super chat, that's fine. Like Brastard said, I'm not like other gun channels. Did anyone else find the title of the video funny, by the way? I thought it was funny. And I guess if I made myself laugh, it was worth it. But just asking you guys. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a serious question. Okay, JC saying question. 3,000 rounds, 7.62 by 39, and just one AK. You're suggesting another gun in case one breaks. Dude, one gun? If you got 3,000 extra rounds, I'd say at least 3. Come on, man. Don't set your sights so low, okay? Because here's the thing. You can justify this, look, it's all about, if you frame it in the right way, the old lady, she'll understand it, okay? She really, really will. Now, here's the problem. When I say the old lady, you younger guys have got it lucky. The older you get, the smarter the old lady gets. And she starts saying, well, you've already told all these stories before. And then you're like, I did? Well, I mean, the same thing happened again. And it's like, yeah, after a while, because I forget what kind of BS I'm telling when it comes to like, oh, well, this is just this gun. And this gun here it's really the same gun. You have to understand. And, I do all that, right? And I forget sometimes what I'm saying, but I don't know, man. They don't forget anything. How many of you guys have that? Like, they're kind of sort of smarter than us in a certain way, like the photographic memory, X-ray vision. Oh, just bringing my gun in the house, sweetie. There's 2 guns in there. What the heck? And it's like a single rifle case. And you spent like an hour perfectly packing 2 in there. And she's like, yeah, I can see there's 2 in there. It's like, well, what the heck? Why do we even work anymore? If you have X-ray vision to see there's 2 guns in the case, why don't you just buy a lottery ticket? Pick the lottery ticket to play tonight. No. That's too easy. They have to use their X-ray vision for things like that, that are much more important. So, yeah, as long as you can get it by her, then buy all the guns you want, JC. By all means, sir. Asian Indians, as in, yeah, India Indians, gotcha. Richard Hughes is saying. That is the thing. In America here, Indian does mean 2 starkly different things, doesn't it? Troll2201's here. How's it going, man? I'm sorry, I mispronounced your name. Troll22001. Caught myself the second time there. I can read a little bit. And yeah, poor conservative, I guess I cracked myself up, okay? Yeah, JC gets what I'm saying here. Yeah, Francis P. Yes, I do have a East German AK. Yep, MPIKM. Yep, I have one, and I do like it quite a bit. I like the pebble grain stock and the kind of like chocolate brown grip on it. It's just, they're kind of their own thing, right? And I will say my East German AK is pretty light. It's probably the lightest of any of my AKs I can think of, to be honest. Mainly just due to the furniture, right? It's more of a polymer. It's not like Bakelite. It's not that heavy plum polymer. It's like a real, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You'd think it would be brittle, but it's actually not. It's just super lightweight. Probably one of the more advanced polymers that I've ever seen on an AK, to be honest with you. What's happening, Sojas? Checking in from Grand Rapids. All right, man, here's the deal. You're going to have to hang out with poor conservative, okay? Because, I don't know, before you stopped in here, I said, look, now there's a stark difference here. I'm on the right side of the state, okay? And then there's the lefties, like poor conservative and Grand Rapids. You guys are the lefties, so you guys have to hang out over there together. And I'll just sit here and rip on you, because here's the deal. As long as it's going to take you guys to drive here, I'll already be off this stream. I'll be out of here. You'll show up and be like, where'd that bastard go? I'll already be gone, so. I'll be going fishing in the better Great Lake. Okay, I'll be over in Lake Erie, and you guys will be over there. Yeah. Come on, guys. Is there anyone? Do I have anybody from Southeastern Michigan here? I know I've got some Michigan guys. I know I do. They're ganging up on me right now, okay? Because here's the thing. They're on the left side of the state. Now, like physically, they're on the left side, the west side. In general, now there's some caveats. They're actually more conservative over there. But what they don't realize is I'm not in Ann Arbor. I'm not in Detroit. I'm not in Royal Oak. I'm definitely not in Ferndale. I'm in this little itty bitty town that's actually very, very conservative. So to basically equalize the fact that poor conservative reminds me every day that there's all these libtard cities near me, I have to remind him, no, you're physically on the left. So not to bore you guys, but if you're in Michigan, you get what I'm saying. Now, Michigan's a great state deep down. I mean, it's like completely crappy state, but it's really good too. You guys know what I mean. See what I told you guys? This is how this crap works. Now they're already talking amongst themselves. Come on, someone's gonna pop in here. Is there anyone here from Brighton? Anyone from Wixom, Michigan? I need some of my peeps to chime in here, okay? Yeah, Richard Hughes, there he goes. Michigan is great when you're leaving from Florida. Oh, thanks, man. That felt good. Scott Chrysler, how's it going, man? Good to see you too. Okay, Troll's asking me if I had to choose AIM 74 or WBP 47 Baril kit. Okay, do you want the honest answer? Both. And I bought both. I'll be honest with you. I bought both the Baril and the AIM 74. But if I only had to pick one, oh man, that's tough. Now I'm gonna assume you already have some AKMs, because if you already have some AKMs, branch off and get you a 74. I'd say AIM 74, because the Baril's cool, but the Baril kit you're talking about, that's going to be in 7.62 by 39, not 5.56 like it's originally was. And I think it's good to have some a little bit lighter caliber AKs in the collection, whether it be 5.56 or 5.45 by 39. So the real answer is both, but if you don't have an AK 74 type variant, get the AIMs. If you don't have any AKs at all, get one chambered in 7.62 by 39 first. South's like, damn, I didn't know beef in Michigan was like that. But I can say the same about the difference with Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. No. It's not really like that, okay? It's really not. It's just, here's the thing. It's really not like that. It's just between me and poor conservative. We don't like each other. And just to show him, I'm not wearing a baby blue shirt today. Oh, part of the Q&A. Here's the question no one's asking today, okay? No, I don't only own one shirt, and I don't only own two shirts. These are special UV shirts, sunscreen shirts, okay, guys? And they're also like that cool dry material. And that's kind of all I like to wear in the summer. So, yeah. I have 5 or 6 of this color, 5 or 6 of the baby blue. And the reason I picked the baby blue and the light gray is because it's hot, it's hot outside. The lighter colors absorb less heat. Now, you're probably not going to believe me, but seems to me somebody from the other side of the state had to kind of, ask me if I had a baby blue love affair yesterday. Okay, Richard Hughes, he just got me, but that is true. And full disclosure, I have 12 shirts that look like the 2 that you think I'm wearing, but I do only have 1 pair of underwear. That is actually true, okay? That is actually true. He got me there. Thought I saw somebody else sneak in here and say hi. Where are you at? Limbert Johnson, how's it going, man? Nice to see you too. Okay, so Francis is saying if it's got the cold hammer forged barrel. I always like a cold hammer forged barrel too, so no arguments there. Okay, Edward Kent's in Florida. I'm sure it's a big state, but maybe you're down there near Richard Hughes somewhere, I don't know. Any of you guys neighbors with each other? Cave Dave's in Tennessee? I do like Tennessee. Every time I go down there, I like to go by Johnny Cash's old house on the lake there that got burned down after they filmed the movie and all that. But you can still see the property. You can still see that tree with the little bench under it that Bob Dylan talks about, how he used to go to get away. And even if Johnny Cash wasn't in town, Bob Dylan would go out to Johnny's property there on the lake, and he'd sit there under this specific tree, and he wrote some of his biggest hits underneath it. It's kind of a surreal moment. I was over there during the eclipse a couple back, that complete, total eclipse. And I went to Johnny's old property. I mean, there's nobody around there now. There's still the guard shacks, but I think the guy from the Bee Gees owns it, but they lost the house shortly after they filmed the Walk the Line movie. And it's still kind of cool, though. You can still literally go to this exact spot where, and I was listening to Bob Dylan in an interview, and he's like, there's this special place. And he's like, I think it still might be there. There's this little bench that sits under this one exact tree. And he described exactly where it was at. Because Johnny Cash had like a 10-acre estate there, Hendersonville, Tennessee, right on the water. And I seriously was, kind of just walking around and getting ready for the eclipse. And I found that exact bench. And I was like, this is freaking awesome. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm a pretty big Johnny Cash fan. Huge Johnny Cash fan, okay? Bob Dylan, pretty big fan of his too, really. Not as big as Johnny Cash, but yeah. Johnny Cash is definitely up there as one of my favorites, if not probably my favorite artists of all time, to be honest with you. Fierce Mouse, Salt Lake here. As in Salt Lake City, I assume. Because I know there is an actual Salt Lake too, though. So I'm actually kind of asking, because never been to that part of the country in my life, to be honest with you. Oh, geez. Waste-based Marines is having some problems getting guns in the house, too. I get it, man. That's why you get a shop. Just get a shop, and when you're supposed to be working, instead you're filling it up with, gun-related stuff. Kind of makes sense. I mean, I'm only here just to do work, obviously, as you guys can tell, but, Scott Chrysler representing Pennsylvania. Cool. Tori McCurley, how's it going? Let's see here. Seth's saying you honestly can't go wrong with A1 sauce. Francis, I have nothing against most music. I'm not really into goth too much. I'm more listening to country music, to be honest. And some rock. I mean, back in the day, alternative rock, grunge rock, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I used to listen to the heck out of some Nirvana and Pearl Jam and, that kind of music. I still do once in a while. Poor conservative. He's a Rush fan. Iron Maiden. Yes. Tall. Jethro Tull. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Dream Theater. I've heard of most of those that you just said. Big Bad Jones. Bluegrass is his favorite. You know what? Bluegrass is definitely different music than country. No question about it. But it kind of ventures along. Some of it crosses over a little bit, right? Huge bluegrass fan. That I grew up listening to that. My dad's a mandolin player, and as a teeny little kid, sitting there, watching him play and listening to him play. So yeah, definitely into bluegrass a lot. I'm a big Bill Monroe fan. For those of you bluegrass fans, love Bill Monroe. Great music. Let's see here. Oh, Chuck saying he got to see Johnny's brother at a show last year. That's cool. Yeah, man, love Johnny Cash. Got to hear him play one time in the early 90s. He came by the local county fair, actually. There was a time in the 90s Johnny Cash was kind of struggling to get a gig, believe it or not. I'm sure you guys have heard the story. Then he did that American series, the American albums. Kind of brought his back right in the twilight of his life, really. But yeah, there was a time when he was playing small little county fairs. Oh, we got a Marty Robbins fan in the house. Gunfighter ballads, right? I like old folk music too, actually. I really do. Okay, so Scott Chrysler's saying he likes Danzig, but he plays old folk. I think that's what you're saying, old folk music. If you got a picture of Johnny, you're saying? That's cool. You know, Lindbergh, the WBP Fox. I've heard good things about it from like Misha. I don't know, man. I'd like to get one. There was other priorities at the time when they were available for a little bit there. I tried to buy one of just the Sporters. I wanted to finish the Magwell, conversion and all that myself. I've not seen them on Arms of America since. I wanted to buy one of the $700 version ones, basically, But I don't know. I'd like to answer your question more thoroughly, Lambert. I don't have one. And I kind of would like to get one. And I'm under the impression Arms of America is going to be getting more eventually. But I've been kind of just sitting there, patiently waiting. And I don't know. I don't think so. Not anytime soon. Yeah, Cash did have great stories. Like America's First is saying, a lot of the stuff that he used to talk about in his songs. And even a lot of Johnny Cash songs were covers. I don't know if you guys knew that. He covered a lot of people's songs, but he kind of do it in his own way and make it his own. In fact, look at Hurt. You guys all know the song Hurt. And to tie it in with what I was saying earlier, Hurt was actually filmed in that house that I'm talking about, where there's just the property now that burned down in Hendersonville there on the lake. That's a Trent Reznor song, of course, right? 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. It was a good song when Trent Reznor did it, but when Johnny Cash did it, he literally made it his own. And that's no respect to Trent Reznor. Trent's even said in multiple interviews, that's Johnny Cash's song now. And he felt really good about that. Like he was honored to say that it became Johnny Cash's song. So, yeah. System of a Down, I'm familiar with them. SRV, I'm not. What's that an acronym for? Yeah, Cash did a great cover of Rusty Cage. Cash even did a great cover of a Beck song. I'm also a big Beck fan, by the way, if you guys know who Beck is. And Beck did a song called Rowboat that was on one of his early albums, like before Mellow Gold, because Loser was his big breakout hit, right? And then he went platinum on like everything on his Odelay album. Well, when Beck was still like real young, he did a song called Rowboat. And I knew the Beck version because I'm a big Beck fan, right? I've seen him in concert like 15, 20 times. Well, Johnny Cash covered Rowboat on one of those American albums. And the same thing, I heard Beck in a radio interview shortly thereafter, and he said, man, Johnny Cash is doing this song. He's doing it so much better than me. He's doing it so much deeper than me. I'm even afraid to play my own song now. He said it jokingly, and, he played it, but he was kind of like, sorry to disappoint you guys. I'm no Johnny Cash. So, yeah, that's how legendary Cash is. When he covered people's songs, they kind of like gave the song to him and just felt honored that he did it, Yep, Cash did 9 Inch Nails with Hurt. Yep, that's what I was talking about. M4 Johnny. Yep, and they filmed it in that house. The guest house is still there down in Hendersonville, okay? And there's still the swimming pool and still the water slide and everything going on in the swimming pool. It's kind of a ghostly appearance. And then there's like a couple detached buildings, like a guest house, a detached garage, the original guard shack, if you'll call it that. It's a nice fieldstone fence that has like big wood timbers on the top of it. And somebody there is still cutting grass and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I know it's a big state, Cave Dave, but are you near here in Hendersonville? Have you ever been down there to the old Johnny Cash property? And then, of course, there's the one right across the street from him that he bought for his parents, right? And his dad and mom lived there till they got old and died. And then when Johnny got real old, the last couple years of his life, it was too hard for him to get around, his big, like, not mansion, but his big estate house. So him and June moved into that little house across the street, okay? And that's where he actually lived the last couple years of his life. In fact, when they filmed Hurt, the song Hurt that he covered, they went across the street into his house because he still owned both, but he actually hadn't been living in that house for a couple of years at that point. He just, they just went over there from time to time to check on it and all that. And if you guys have money and you ever want to run a little vacation spot, now the main house, like I said before, burned down, whatever. It's just the property. And one of the Bee Gees do own it. Now, the house I was just talking about that he built for his parents right across the street, because that part of I Walk the Line is actually true. That house is still there. It's got a beautiful deck on it. Even though it's not waterfront like Johnny's bigger house across the street, it overlooks the water. You can still see the lake, right? Because there's like an opening there. Anyways, to make a long story short, they rent that house. And you can rent it for your family reunion, your party, whatever. And there was a bunch of people on the deck there when I went for the eclipse, and I walked up and I'm like, excuse me, I hate to bother you guys, but I'm kind of, interested in the history of Johnny Cash, and you guys do know this was his old house, right? And they said, yeah. Actually, we're renting it. This is available for rent. We rented it for the weekend. So if you guys want to go to a beautiful place, it's down a little dirt road. And actually, what's crazy is this. When you pull off the main road to go down that dirt road, there's a cemetery that you basically have to drive right by. And that's the cemetery that Johnny and June are buried in. So if you want to, you can go pay respect to their graves and then just keep continuing down the paved road. The pavement ends. You make a left, and then you go winding on this windy dirt road. 2 cars wide, barely, 1.5 to 2 cars wide, little dirt road. And then if you're driving down there on the right, you'll see Johnny Cash's old estate. Again, the house is gone now. And on the left is the house that was his parents' house / his house in his dying years. So probably boring the crap out of you guys, but Big Bad Jones says, man, you need some music playing and to be a radio DJ. I would love to do that. Do you know how much fun that'd be if I could have some music going and we could all kind of hang out? And here's the problem: YouTube, copyright strikes, whatever. Like, even if I played like in the background, if it's like incidental, they've now said that they'll let you have maybe up to 5 seconds of that. Anything over 5 seconds, 3 things can happen. I can get a copyright strike, which is actually a strike against my channel, or the rights owner of the music, they can claim it. So then what they'll do is they'll monetize my video, but the money goes to them, right? Or the third option is where they basically just demonetize it, period. Which, who cares about the monetization? They're going to demonetize this one anyways because I accidentally cussed earlier in it or whatever. But like, it really matters. If it was monetized, I think my last stream that was monetized has earned 27 cents in the last 3 weeks. But you guys get my point. It's still considered to be a quote-unquote punishment. And the punishment isn't the 27 cents, guys. But what it is if it's demonetized, not only can I not make money, but YouTube can't make money either. So they force it down lower and lower in the algorithm. And that's if I literally had just like incidental background music playing. Or trust me, I would love to. I really would. Now, I can play royalty-free music, but that stuff kind of sucks, Half of it sounds like porn music or elevator music or even a combination of both. And you guys know what I'm talking about. That royalty-free stuff that people like to throw in all their videos. Yeah. Sometimes I hear that stuff playing and I'm like, ooh. Make sure my daughter's not looking. I know what happens next. Because when you're listening, it's going boom, ching, boom, ching, boom, ching, boom, ching. And then you hear boom, chicka, wow, wow. You're like, oh, no children looking. And you're like, oh, this is just a gun tuber using the free stock music that they gave him. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, too. JC lives 40 miles north of Hendersonville. Man, you live in a beautiful area, don't you? I mean, Hendersonville's beautiful, isn't it? And especially if you've been there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going back to this again. That lake that Johnny lived on, it's just beautiful, isn't it? Like, if you stand on his old property and just look down, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous part of the country down there for sure. Let's see here. Is there any Alien Ant Farm fans in the house? Or Suicide Machines fans? Anyone into that? Or MXPX? Or Okay, I got you. Mateo's he's a Simple Plan man. Okay. That's his favorite band is Simple Plan. Yep, Smooth Criminal. Oh, JC, I've been to Nashville. Now, look, I do like some Nashville, but I don't. Now, here's the thing. The last time I was down there, they had just switched the law back again, where they had told the mayor of Nashville that they had to get rid of the gun-free signs. Because for a little bit there, they were saying, the mayor was anyways, of Nashville, saying that you couldn't have any guns at all in any like public sidewalks or public transit. Do you remember all that? So until the state legislature smacked down the city of Nashville, I was kind of avoiding Nashville. But I do like Nashville, though. And I've been to the Johnny Cash Museum in there, and I like that. Grand Ole Opry. Oh, yeah. Nice place. It is kind of messed up, though, isn't it? That Nashville, Tennessee got so libtard at a certain point with the mayor and all that. Look, I know everyone that lives there isn't libtard. That's not what I'm getting at. But you guys know what I mean. Where their gun laws got that restrictive. But luckily, like I said, the state legislature came through and smacked it down 2 years ago, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay, Dave lives near the bad end of the state. So does that mean Memphis? I don't know. I'm kind of just joking with you, but a lot of the people I know down in Tennessee say that Memphis is the rough city in Tennessee. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm like 45 minutes from Detroit right now, guys. 35, 45 minutes, depending on how traffic is at the moment. And that's pretty rough. So I'm not, but where I'm at is completely peaceful and fine. It's crazy. You can just get a half hour away from like the ghettoest, trashiest place on earth and be in paradise. It's weird how that works, isn't it? Bowling Green. Are we talking Bowling Green, Ohio or Kentucky? Because I'm familiar with both. Now, Bowling Green, Kentucky, that's, Rand Paul territory, right? I'm a pretty big Rand Paul fan, too, if you guys didn't know that. Oh, you're on the west side of Nashville. Gotcha. Man, I've driven through your neighborhood recently, actually. Uh-oh. Big Bad Jones says, I'm going through the Big D, and I don't mean Dallas. Oh, wait, never. That's not what he said. He said he's near Dallas. I'm sorry. Hopefully your wife isn't listening, man. That was a joke. Dallas, Texas. Dallas is an old TV show, too. How about that? I'm just Mr. Trivia tonight. Ooh, Rand Paul. Yeah, he did, man. He did take a whipping over grass clippings. Jeez, oh, Pete. That is actually kind of messed up, though. That guy was basically a complete psychopath. Seth's been through Memphis, and it was kind of eh. What about that song Walking in Memphis? You guys remember that one? Was that Rascal Flatts? I've been to a few Rascal Flatts concerts. Mateo, the great state of sexy jelly, KY. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ninja Scout says, I've been by you. Detroit was a bleep hole. Yeah. but look, I don't go to Detroit. I mean, some people do. I've been there before for various things. I mean, I've been there a few dozen times, right? Like if I want to watch a Tigers game, whatever. But I don't just go there just to go there. Yeah, Richard Hughes, I think you might be right, man. I think there was a little more to that Rand Paul story than what was told. Yeah, Detroit to the airport, but the airport isn't technically in Detroit itself. The metro airport's really in Romulus, but it is called the Detroit, metro airport. But yeah, that's Romulus. Great country bar, by the way. You can go to the old Diamondback Saloon next time, Richard. Just, about 2 minutes away from the airport. Like, it's a stone's throw away, but it takes a couple minutes because you got to drive out of the airport. Right next to General RV. Uh-oh. I go to the Westland parties. Well, I don't know. I've been known to refer to it as Wasteland more than once before, so that's what a lot of the guys around here call it, as Wasteland. Or at least that's what I call it. But I've got friends that live in Westland, the whole Wayne Westland area. Ooh, JC's got 3 tubes of KY friction burns. Ouch. I'm talking about everything but guns, aren't I? Who was that? Somebody at the very beginning of this stream chimed in the comments and said, this isn't like a normal gun stream. I guess it's not. I'm talking about music, where people live. And everyone's like, dude, where I live's like totally better than Detroit. I get it. Just don't let poor conservative hear you say it, because he's kind of getting a big head on himself a little bit here. Ryobi pressure washer. I don't know, man. I'll give you a jaded opinion. For me, no. For a homeowner, maybe. It's something I would make a living with. So, Here's the big deal with power washers, if you guys are curious. This is kind of what'll separate what's like a total homeowner machine versus an intermediate. If you can change the oil on the pump and the pump isn't completely just throwaway pump, that's usually kind of what separates the two. Because what they'll do is they'll give you a decently large PSI rating, right? But they'll take the GPM down to compensate for it. So GPM and CFM are very similar. So you can sit there and have, tons of PSI, but very low gallons per minute and still end up with less what we call cleaning power. So basically okay, you guys will get this. I'll give you a ballistics example, okay? You could take your speed by your grain weight and make an equation, right, to get foot-pounds of torque. Same thing with power washers. Take your PSI times your GPM, and you get cleaning units, and that's how much actual ability it has to clean. So I'll give you a marketing gimmick. There'll be one power washer out there that's 4 GPM at 2,800 PSI. Okay, do the math, you're under 13,000. Then there's another one that's like, well, it's, 3,000 PSI at only 2 GPM. Now you're only at 6,000 cleaning units. At the end of the day, you can clean twice as much, almost, with that 2,700 PSI power washer. And I've actually got a little one right here. Now, it's not just that I can pull guns out on demand. If you guys want to talk about power washers. Now, this is what I would call kind of a little throwaway power washer pump. You can get these on eBay for like $50. Now, this one's going to say on paper, let me remember exactly what this said. It's kind of a generic here, but I got this for a family member. I'm going to swap it out for theirs just to help them out. I don't use anything like this on my machines, but this one here is, just kind of a little throwaway unit. It is what it is, 3,000 PSI at 2.3 GPM. That's okay. And it just depends what you're doing with it too. If you're trying to clean a lot, or if you're trying to clean every day, you're not going to get the hours out of it that you are a good pump, right? So I like the ones that are more of like piston pumps. These type are kind of like a cam axial pump. Two totally different types. Cleaning concrete actually takes a little bit of pressure, man, and it takes a little bit of time. Now, if your concrete has like a black on there, you know how it gets that black look, dark gray black, even maybe a little bit of green? Wear a nice respirator and put down bleach or diluted pool chlorine. Put that on there. Spray that on there with a pump sprayer. You're going to find it's going to loosen it up like so good. And in fact, sometimes I'm able to just spray it down with bleach and actually not even have to get the power washer out. So don't ever underestimate bleach, man. It'll work miracles. If you don't believe me, just take a cap full of bleach, go out to the corner, dump it on there. During the daylight, it doesn't work as good at night. And just sit there and just look at it and just rinse it off. You'll see that it's basically either white or like at least halfway there within minutes. So that's my secret. That's how I make most of my money power washing is I spray a sodium hyperchlorite solution, which is either household bleach or pool chlorine. Try to dilute it down to concrete to maybe like 2 to 3% sodium hyperchlorite. If there's shrubs and stuff around, pre-wet them, but just try to keep it off the plants as much as you can. Because the bleach itself isn't necessarily as toxic as, it's sodium hyperchlorite. So after the chlorine gas evaporates away, you end up with a salt residue. And as you guys that live in the northern climates know, if you're salting your driveway and some gets into the grass, salt kills grass. So, yeah. So, yeah, here's a little power washer pump. The Ryobi is probably going to be fine if you're just doing it for your own home occasionally, sure. Would I go make a living with anything that says Ryobi? To be honest with you, no. So, yeah. Here's a cheap little power washer pump for y'all. Youngster, there you go again, man, for conservative. You did mention some of that old Fogy music earlier. You were kind of sort of dating yourself, my man. I just have to say it. But yeah, Simpson's a really good unit. Simpson's commercial equipment. And is yours a belt drive or is it a direct drive? Because a lot of the Simpsons are belt drives, but they also make, the direct drive too. This is off of like one of those, anywhere between 5 to about 6.5 horsepower engine. That's what this particular one. And I even have a little reducer collet in here too. So. And I got a little bit of that packing oil. Yeah, I know, Richard. I hate running too. Over the years, I've pretty much bought all my own around. And if you don't have it completely full on gas, they're like, oh, you're 3 ounces low on gasoline. So now we're going to charge you for a gallon. But their price is $10 a gallon. And then if you're renting other equipment, there's the cleaning fee. And trust me, man, I've been around it for a long, long time. Except for I used to like to rent the wood chipper. I'll tell you guys another quick story here, how it's a small world, you know. My friend Rachel, you know, Ray, you guys have seen her on the channel. And she was my old rental girl. I used to rent this wood chipper back in the day all the freaking time. And she was one of the girls that worked at the hardware store at the time. And when I say girl, she was a girl. We were just talking about this today. She was like 15 years old when she started working there. So I used to like to rent it back then just so I could see her. No, I actually didn't even really pay attention to who she was back then. But after we got to talking, it's like, yeah, you're the guy that used to rent that chipper all the time. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, I remember you. You know what I'm saying? Because I just have like this teeny little wood chipper, like a little brush chipper basically to chip, you know, climb it, you know, just to do like little clippings and stuff when pruning bushes. But they used to run a tow behind one. Oh, Richard Hughes. That's what you call it, rental girl. Oh, that came off terrible, didn't it? Oh, that did come off pretty bad. White Space Marines, is she hot now? Who's that, the rental girl? The girl I rented? Oh, I can't believe how horrible that just came off. I did say that, didn't I? She was my rental girl. No. I used to rent a wood chipper, and she was one of the gals that worked at the counter that would, you know, sign it out and all that. White Space Marines. Yeah, she's pretty hot, I think. Did she work on 7 Mile? Oh, man, come on. Yeah. No, actually, it was off of 11 Mile. Off of 11 Mile in South Lyon, Michigan. No, Cave Dave. She was 15, 10, almost 10 years ago when she's older. She's not 15 anymore, guys. Look, what are you guys going to tell your mom? What did you do tonight? Well, I was watching this stream, and dude, the host was like renting a 15-year-old, and yeah, this is coming. Whew. Just don't even tell your moms that you were in here, okay, guys? And Switchpot, I hope your wife's not watching. Hopefully Allie's not watching, because, man, I always tried to pull it off that I was the good influence, you know. I was the good guy. Wives can feel safe when they're hanging out with me, you know, like, oh, he's just with Glock. It's all good. And now I'm talking about renting 15-year-olds, and of course she's hot. No. 10 years ago. I mean, 10 years ago, I wasn't even 30 yet. Oh, she is? Okay, Allie, here's the deal. I'm still a good guy. I don't rent 15-year-olds. I don't think they're hot. It's just, yeah, it was 10 years ago. Can me and Switchpod still play after school tomorrow, please? Okay, I'll come over to his house for the next week. And if we're good, then can he come over to my house? Oh, geez. You guys are terrible. And here's poor conservative, you know. He's not really like, look, he's not really like on the cool side of the state, but he knows just enough about it where he can use just enough terminology, okay? He knows the mile roads and, yeah. Ooh. Okay, Allie said yes. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Poor conservative. His wife's sitting here laughing. Geez, your wife lets you come on here? I didn't even know she lets you go out in public anymore, man. What the heck? Big Bad Jones's wife is here. All right, guys. I just need to crawl on a hole because I've been trying to be a good influence where everybody's like, man, we can hang out here, and it's just all falling apart. As soon as I started talking about music and Alien Ant Farm, and it just all went to crap there, you know? Basically, a cover of a song Michael Jackson did, and now I'm talking about little kids. I mean, where's this stuff even go? Dirty Minds. Uh, Tori McCurley. Now, is this your wife's account or are you an actual chick? Because if an actual chick, oh no, she's crying. Never mind. I was gonna say moves and she's smiling here, but no, never mind. Those are the those are the crying tears emojis. I thought I had an out, guys. I really did. Thought I had an out. Mateo is the bad influence. Oh, Mateo started so much trouble just last week. Can you believe it? He came into one of my videos and he put double thumbs up emojis in there. Someone literally flipped a nut. They're like, what the heck is this guy doing in here? This is terrible. Like, how could your moderator even dare come in here? Like, why is he leaving comments on your video? Like, I point you guys there, but he deleted the comments after the fact. But this is a true story, you know. He comes in there literally like this. Go look at like all my videos. Mateo comes in double. Apparently he blew someone's skirt up when he did that. So yeah, Mateo is the bad influence, that's for sure. All right, guys, I've been on an hour. I need to take a little break. I need to go get a refill on iced tea. I need to use the little girl's room. I'm not little girl. Look, she was 15, 10 years ago. I'm going to go use the full-grown, men's only, completely sexist, no women allowed room. And I will be back in 5 minutes. And then I'll try to change it up and actually talk about guns. So good night, Big Bad Jones. Nice to see you, man. Tell your family I said hi. I hope you guys are all good. I really do. Nice to see you. All right. I'll be back in a second, guys. All right, I'm back. Is anybody still here? Oh, SwitchPod spies a straight bolt. Yeah. Maybe a little VZ24. Okay, one more Michigan story, and then I'll get to the topic of guns, because that's probably why you guys were probably here, right? Now, on the west side of Michigan, there's this town, and poor conservatives going to vouch for me on this. It's called Kalamazoo. It totally sounds like a fake city, right? But that's really the name of the town, Kalamazoo. Now, there's a place called K College there. That's where your parents send you if you're rich. And then there's, of course, Western Michigan, right? Now, the Broncos. But there's also another place that my dad took me to when I was a kid. And that's the Gibson factory, the old Gibson factory. Any Gibson fans here? So we were talking about my dad playing the mandolin. You guys ever heard of an old Gibson F4 or a Gibson F5? That's what Bill Monroe used to play. We were talking about Bill Monroe earlier. And Bill Monroe only played a Gibson. I mean, for the vast majority of his career, obviously. So I grew up around Gibson mandolins. My brother-in-law, he's a professional guitar player. He plays on a Les Paul. So poor conservative used to work there. So you know what I'm talking about? I know there's different divisions of the company, obviously, but the F series mandolins, and then of course you know what an a Les Paul is, obviously. But yeah, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Is that next to Up the Wazoo? Pretty much. I used to go out there and do a little partying back in the day. People that went to college there and all that. It used to be pretty cool. And that used to always be the differentiation, too. For you guys that have been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, where do you go to school? Western, cool. I go to K College. I don't party with Western students. Do you guys remember that? Yep. The F mandolins have the scrolls. Yeah, there's the F4s and the F5s. And from what I understand, they're worth a pretty penny nowadays. But according to my dad, there's nothing that plays like an old Gibson mandolin. That's all he wants to play, actually. Is a Yep, and A's the teardrop. Yep. And then there was even the why can I not think of the name of them now? The old school style mandolins that are straight on the front and then they're like rounded on the back. They look like a half a watermelon in the back. What are those? Why can I not think of the name of it now? There's a specific name for those where they don't fit flat against your body. There's the round, like it literally looks like half of a melon in the back. You know what I'm talking about? Poor conservative. SwitchPod's mom plays the mandolin. That's cool. A lute. Is that the official name for it? See, like the bluegrass guys I know, they don't even call it mandolin. They call it the mandolin. So if you ever hear someone talking about the mandolin, that's a good old boy saying mandolin. Little piece of trivia for you younger guys there. Because I actually always heard it called the mandolin. I was like, Madeline, who's she? Is she cute? Whiskey and shotguns. Oh, boy. Hey, Johnny Powell. How's it going, Johnny Powell? He remembers his mom doing the farm accounts using a Kalamazoo system ledger. Yeah, there's all kinds of famous stuff in Michigan, whether you guys know it or not. You go over to the west side of the state, you've got Kellogg's, Battle Creek area. You've got Pioneer Sugar. I heard there's a pretty famous guitar builder out on the west side of Michigan as we speak, actually. Ask Poor Conservative if he knows that guy. He follows me on Facebook, this guitar builder out there. I think the last guitar I saw in one of his pictures, it's green, and it's a double string guitar. It has 2 sets of frets and strings. I think Poor Conservative knows that guy. I don't know much about guitars enough to know what those are technically called. I call it a double guitar. And I'm sure you guitar connoisseurs are shooting me right now. I only have one guitar, and it's a blue. It's actually this color. I could go get it. It's in my other shop, but I'd have to go all the way outside again. It's actually this color right here. It's an acoustic electric, and it's a Takamine. You guys ever heard of them? Takamine? It's not a real high-end guitar, but that was the rental girl's name, Madeline. Yeah. I should start calling her. Here. Let me do this. I'll say, hey, Madeline. Hold on a second. Let me pull. Should I send her a message right now? No, I won't do that. She'll be like, who the hell's Madeline? I'll be like, it's an F series, an F body, an F4 Madeline. Troll took some classes at Eastern Michigan. So did I, actually. Are you from Michigan? I didn't even know you were a Michigan guy. Or did I know that? Yeah, I took a couple classes there too, actually. I got my college degree from Monroe County Community College. Thought I'd go on and get a fancier degree after that, and I took a few classes at Eastern Michigan. And then, I don't know. Then I dropped out of college and realized I actually don't need it whatsoever. I'm a big fan of going to college, but I'm a big fan of not going to college too, to be honest with you. Some of the wealthiest people I know have never even stepped foot in a college. I actually know a few millionaires that are high school dropouts. That's my problem. See, I didn't get enough college to make a lot of money, but I didn't drop out of middle school to make a lot of money either. So I'm lightly college educated, which means I'm poor, basically. Vanessa Kitty, hey, how's it going? She came in here to calm stuff down. She's trying to make this a PG-13 stream again. After I was talking about Madeline and rental girls and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, actually, SwitchPod's got a good point. F-body to me is a Camaro. Yeah. See, there you go. Look at SwitchPod. He's got more guns than anyone in this whole stream, and he hasn't been to college at all. So, proves my point. Yeah, poor conservative. That's a double neck bass. Gotcha. I kind of thought, yeah. I was just calling it kind of a double bass, but yeah, double neck makes sense. Do you have to have like twice as many hands to play that? Vanessa Kitty, congratulations. That's a big accomplishment, actually. Yep, just obtained her master's degree in math, September of 2017. Congrats. I know how much hard work it is. I mean, I hate to say it, but this doesn't compare to the master's degree at all. But even to get my associate's degree was a lot of hard work, a lot of nights up studying late. And, you know, my mom has a couple master's degrees. My brother's an attorney. My dad, high school education, you know, so I've been around both sides of it. And that's what I was saying before, you know, having a good college degree can really, really help you a lot. But you don't have to have it either, though. That's the great thing about this country. You can get really far with your college education. And you do deserve the extra pay you get generally with that. Definitely. But I've known people that are really rich, literally, that are like high school dropouts too. So that's the great thing about this country. Until they start giving free college to everybody, then it'll be like you have to have a college degree to even work at a gas station, right? And then all of a sudden, all the money Vanessa Kitty spent, all of her service that she gave to the country, you know, to you know, get some of her education, and I'm sure you paid for a lot of it out of your own money too. It could be worth nothing if everybody gets it, quote, for free. All that means is we're going to have a 70% tax liability, so everyone can get a college degree that becomes the new high school diploma because everyone has one. Do you guys ever think about it that way? You know, that's why a college degree means something, because somebody went through a lot of time, effort, and unfortunately money, and it shouldn't cost as much money as it does. I will say that. I think, now I'm not advocating for free college, but I think it has gotten kind of sickening how much these universities are charging nowadays, and even community colleges. I mean, I remember back when I was going to the community college, it was like $100 per credit hour. And now I'm hearing people, you know, Michigan law school graduates and stuff saying like $10,000, $12,000 per credit hour. Like it's sickening. And, you know, people talk about how these lawyers and doctors make too much money. Well, kind of, but not really, considering how they're paying off their student loans until they're 50 years old. And that's after making six figures for 25 years. They're still just now paying off their student loans. And I know a couple people in that same exact situation. Francis Smith says that's exactly what it will be, worthless. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I don't look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This country's been fine all these years where, there's trades, there's vocational schools people go to. People learn stuff hands on. Some people learn by putting them in a dark room and a candle and a stack of books this thick, and they learn that way. Other people can't even read, but they know more than the people that read all the books because they went out in the field, they did it hands on. Don't tell me, show me, let me watch you, learn, make a few mistakes, perfect it, right? I mean, it's just so stupid that people think there's this one recipe that's going to work for every single person. Everybody will go to university. Everybody will love it. It will be free. Everybody will be so smart. Not really. And by the way, even after all of that, even us bookworms, and I'll include myself in that, I don't care. People with a college degree, we still need people to roof our houses. We still need people to mow our lawns. And heck, I have a degree, a small degree, okay, the smallest one you can get. But still, what am I doing? I'm out mowing people's lawns and billing more per hour for it in some cases than people with degrees. So it all works itself out. It's called free market, capitalism. Francis P is saying, I want to go to college like Blue Mountain State. I'm not familiar with that one. Poor Conservative saying Michigan State was $73 a credit hour and 87. There you go. And by the time the late 90s rolled around, when I was getting in college, it was about 100 for a community college. Now, I played music, guys. I was a trumpet player. Not to brag, but, sat first chair in the state honors band, and I was able, with my musical ability, to get a full-ride scholarship to college. Could have gone to a couple, 4-year universities on a music scholarship. Wanted to stay home to be with the high school girlfriend who was a couple grades behind me. Went to the community college. Don't regret any of this, by the way. She broke up with me, freshman year of college, of course. But anyways, I went to college on a full ride scholarship for music to play in the community college band. So, it's a TV show. See, I don't even watch TV, but yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Switchpod? It's like everybody... It sounds like I'm ripping on college degrees all of a sudden. I'm actually not at all. And I really am proud of Vanessa Kitty because I know what it's like. I sat there as a kid watching my mom studying at night. Like, kids, go to bed. I have a test tomorrow. And me and my brother would have to go to sleep and early and just lay in our beds and pretend we were asleep because she couldn't be distracted with us playing. She went to, my dad was working at a factory with his high school education. My mom, part-time as she was raising us, ended up getting her bachelor's degree, teaching certificate, became a teacher, continuing education, ended up with 2 different master's degrees. So, yeah. I definitely value it either way. Like my grandma always said, whatever tickles you pleases me to death. I'm happy for you guys regardless, to be honest. Wow. Okay, Vanessa's saying $667 this year, undergrad, per credit hour. And that's undergrad. And she's making the distinction for a reason, as you guys know. As soon as you get to graduate school, dink, 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 dink. Medical school, dink, dink. Law school, even more. Like, it just gets sickening. It gets sickening. A friend of mine who's a dentist, you want to know something crazy? He's, let's just say in his late 40s probably, mid-40s. I don't know exactly how old he is. A little older than me, I think, my age-ish. He bought a pontoon boat last year, brand new. He was all proud of it. He says, I can finally afford to buy this boat because I've been a dentist for, at that time, 20-something years. Just paid off my student loans. That's what he told me. So there you go. Yeah, you're right, Troll. The more financing that's available to students and parents, the more the prices go up. And if the government's paying for all of it, just think how much the prices are going to go up. Because if you can take something that should cost $1 and make it $10, it doesn't even sound possible until you get the federal government involved. And they know how to turn $1 into wasting $10, don't they? That's one thing that they're good at. They've completely mastered over the years is how to overinflate the cost of something and just waste exorbitant amounts of money. So, It's a TV show, Francis says. Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't watch TV, man. That's where you guys can get me pretty good. I'm good on a lot of useless trivia, but with the TV stuff, ooh, I'm kind of lacking a little bit. I'm lacking a lot. Yeah, we just need more 3D printers. Okay, Vanessa Kitty's been on the roofing houses before, so I think maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about, actually. Yep, commuting, exactly. I mean, I commuted to college. Being a community college and all, there weren't even dorms, but when I went to Eastern Michigan for a couple semesters, I definitely commuted there. Had to buy the parking pass to park in the parking structure. Parking structure completely full because I only got to class a half hour early instead of 3 hours early. So then I'd have to park like in like a Meijer parking lot and walk like 30 minutes to school, even though I had this multi-$100 parking pass in my window, but they sold like twice as many parking passes as they had parking spots. Have any of you guys ever been down that road? I mean, that literally feels like, feels like you're getting kind of ripped off. Oh, geez. Fence builder digging post holes by hand. Whew. I do have one of the manual, post hole diggers where you squeeze, but I mainly use a gas auger. I'll be honest with you. I'll take the gas auger any day. But if you're kind of near a utility line, probably should get that old, conventional post hole digger out. Oh, let's see here. Who's popular? SwitchPod's so popular, he's got the ladies following him. Is that who you're talking about, Scott Chrysler? Oh, yeah, and be insulted for what I drove to school. Exactly. Oh, it was a riot. Like, even if they were liberal. Now, I had a couple conservative political science teachers because I was going to be a lawyer at one time, okay? I never became a lawyer, obviously, but my brother did. My brother is a lawyer. But anyways, and I'm proud of him. I really am. He doesn't watch this, but if he did, I'm proud of him. But anyways, so they still liked me, though, even if they were like as liberal as it got, because I'd be sitting there and it'd be like, 32 kids versus me. And when I say this, I mean like literally, like there was me and then there was 31 other ones. And we're arguing over whether it's killing a baby or not, in the third trimester. Now imagine that. You're trying to tell people that it should be illegal to kill babies, and it's 31 on one. So, yeah, I had a good time in the political science classes in college, that's for sure. Ooh. No, I know what you're talking about. She's saying she cut a fiber optic that was just below the sod. I have that happen all the time. The cable company will cheat. They'll run a temporary cable, even if it's just a coax cable, like an RG6, or RG59 cable. They'll run it right on the sod. They're supposed to come back and bury it later. Well, they're like always 6 months behind on the permanent burial. So what happens? The landscapers come, they snot over it. And it's that whole thing where if Comcast can't see the temporary line, someone must have buried it, even though they should have records of this. So I'll be literally like dethatching, taking those little, they look like goose turds, those little plugs out of someone's yard. It only penetrates like 1.5 inches. And think, hey, did you do something? Our TV just went out. Before you know it, all the neighbors are out there on the front porch looking around. And you know how it is nowadays. You unplug somebody's TV and internet. Ooh. You could kill babies in the third trimester and they're fine with it. You get rid of their internet, don't even think, like, they'll kill you, right? And it's like, well, I'm sorry, but they didn't follow code. It's an illegal freaking line. What do you mean? Blah, blah, blah. All I know is I had the internet 5 minutes ago and now I don't. And then I'm like, well, everybody knows that you have to bury a utility line more than 0 inches. Well, hold on, let me go. Oh, I don't have internet. And then all of a sudden you're looking at these people. They're living in $1 million houses. They're obviously 1,000,000 times smarter than me. And since their internet's down because I just cut their line, they're like, I don't know. What are we going to do? Because the only thing that can save their life normally is Google it, right? And I'm literally telling them, no, you don't understand. Like, it's illegal the way they put these lines in. It's their fault, not my. Call Comcast, complain. And they're wanting to look it up to prove me wrong, but they can't look it up because I just cut their internet line. So if you ever want to know how to be the smartest person in the whole city block, just learn life, learn it by hand. Get some knowledge in your head, and then you just snip the neighbor's internet, and you now become the next Albert Einstein. I've actually learned that the hard way, unfortunately. Yeah, first world problems at its finest. I actually told this. That is a true story that I told this guy. I'm like, dude, just look it up. Look it up. This line is not buried in code. And he's like, I can't look it up. My internet's down. And I'm like, And I said, but doesn't your cell phone have actual, like, Sprint or Verizon or whatever service? And he's like, I'm still connected to my hotspot. And I'm like, well, disconnect from your hotspot, dude. He's like, but I've never disconnected before. It was seriously like, this is what it reminded me of, okay? High school sweetheart, you're in love, blah, blah, blah. You go home crying when she breaks up with you, and your parents are like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. You'll meet someone better. And what do? You cry, and you're like, but this has never happened before. That's literally how these full-grown people are. They're like, but I can't unconnect because this has never happened before. And you're fired, and we're going to kill you, and we're going to sue you, and then we're going to go have an abortion and kill an unborn baby. And that was basically, that's what happens when there's an illegal cable line buried, and you're just trying to dethatch their lawn just so it'll grow better the next year. Get more water into the root system, fertilize. Yeah, that's all I was trying to do. And then unborn babies had to die, and I almost died. So I don't know. Poor conservative. He's saying, was pre-law my first year in college. You know what I'm talking about? Look, now that's the thing, right? They say, if you're in college and you're a conservative, you don't have a heart, right? But if you're not a conservative by the time you hit 40, you don't have a brain. So I was one of the heartless ones. And it was crazy. Like, here's literally me sitting there in college. And I'm like, but no, we should not let unborn babies die. And they're like, what? Excuse me? You're uncompassionate. You're an evil conservative. You people are mean. And I'm like, I'm mean because I don't want babies to die? You're a terrible person. Blah, blah, blah. And then there's always this. There's always that one, the militant one in class. And they're like, you're beyond evil. You are so evil that you don't want to let us kill unborn babies, that we're going to find you after school and we're going to kill you. And I'm like, okay. And then I look up at the professor and I'm like, well, the left is usually rather hypocritical. And she's like, well, why would you say that? And I just turn over and I'm like, abortion should be legal. And then there's literally like 20 people. You're dead. We're going to kill you. Blah, blah, blah. Your life isn't worth anything. And I'm like, human life is all valuable. No, it's not. Yours. You need to die. And I just look over at the teacher and she's like, all right. Sorry, guys. He just won the debate. A+. How did he win the debate? No, we're going to kill you even worse. And she's like, looks at me. I'm just like, she's like, all right, extra credit. Can you guys imagine the scenario I'm talking about? It used to be so easy. Like, man, dealing with a bunch of like 19, 20-year-old liberals. As soon as they claimed to be the compassionate ones, I could get them all to threaten me verbally that they were going to kill me. And then it's kind of like, yeah. All right, let's see here. I'm getting off on a tangent, aren't I? Yeah, Francis, you were actually thinking the same thing I was earlier. Didn't they have 4G? Yeah, but was afraid to turn off the hotspot. Yeah, you got it. Good night, troll. Mateo is actually a liberal. Well, I knew Mateo 1371 was a liberal. Are you his younger brother or older brother? I can't remember. I know I saw you in another stream, though, the other day. Scott Chrysler says, I came here because you're real, not for whom we're here. So, yeah, I'm probably disappointing a lot of you guys tonight because this is normally a gun stream, but I haven't really talked about guns at all. Do you guys want me to talk about guns for a minute before I end the stream here? Or do you guys, what were we talking about? We've talked about Madeline's. I talked about the rental girl. Let's see here. We've talked about music. We've talked about college. Let's see here. Mateo's a border crosser. Actually, yeah, that does kind of sound like more fence building stories. Yeah? Yeah, taking people's internet out and oh yeah. You know, I'm building the deck right now, guys. You guys want to know something that's sick? Check this out. So I just bought 10 2x6s. Okay? 2x6x8, number 2 pressure treated. Not for ground contact, but pressure treated, right? And they're like $6 a piece. I bought 10 of them, $60. Now, you guys want to see what I just spent $35 on? Check this out. Now this. So, I mean, lumber's gone up a lot. Don't get me wrong. But I can get a big stack, you know, of nice 2x6s, dimensionally milled, treated, $60. 10 of them. This was $35. I decided to buy an extra box just to make sure. I've already bought 9 boxes for this job, and I have like 4 more unopened. But, yeah. Now, this is $35 freaking dollars. And what this is for is if you get grooved Trex, these are your hidden fasteners, right? Or clips. Now, you have to put one on every joist. Normal building code in Michigan here, 15 inches on center. So every 15 inches of every linear foot of the decking, right? I have to use one of these clips. So they get eaten up pretty fast. So I'm getting 90 of these universal fasteners, 4 starter clips, and a drill bit for $35. So 1 pound of plastic and a teeny bit of metal with these little screws cost as much as like 6 4x6, or yeah, 2x6s rather, of wood. Not 4x6s. Those cost a lot more. I misspoke. But yeah, this is where it hurts. $35. And I'm going to be up to like well over a dozen of these by the time I'm done, just on this one job. So yeah. You're right, Cave Dave. 16 on center. I said 15. That was just kind of a little slip, to be honest with you. I actually wasn't trying to BS you guys, but thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good to know there's still a carpenter in the house tonight. I'm obviously not, because I don't know. Well, hold on. I'd still pass inspection, though. It just cost me some extra money. Minimum of 16. I could do 15 if I wanted. I could even do 12 if I wanted to get super overzealous and buy a lot more wood, right? But no, this is just a deck over. Just tearing off the cedar planks that had rotten away. The joists are in perfect shape. The beams are in good shape. All of that's actually perfect. Just the cedar. You know, cedar's a beautiful wood. I found it just doesn't hold up in Michigan very long. It just doesn't. I know it has natural oils in it, and it naturally will resist insects and decay. Yes, but it just doesn't last as long as womanized, you know, or pressure treated in Michigan here. That's pretty cool. Vanessa Kitty's building a wood-fired oven. Yep. Are you going to use like Unilock or something? I have quite a bit of experience with Unilock. I don't know if they're big nationwide or not, but they're a big brick paver company around here. And there's another one called Fendt that I use. But yeah, I'm pretty familiar with all that. With all the brick paver stuff too. Oh, I know. Mateo's not lying. Somebody, remember I wasn't joking earlier when I said in the comments, you know, he did this the other day. And someone like started berating him. And towards the end, he said he wasn't even an American and didn't even own a gun. Like, it's sad. There's some racist people out there, guys. There really, really are. And here's the thing that's crazy. Mateo, Latin, right? Now, Latin's close to Hispanic. It's close to Italian. So he could be Italian. He could be Hispanic. Or how about the truth? He's white. This is a freaking white person here. And Somebody was so racist, they said they didn't even think he was an American. And as he said earlier, right in here, he said he lives in Kentucky. He's even like lives in a good old boy state, right? It used to be we called people from the South hillbillies. Now all of a sudden, people are so racist that if they have the name Mateo, well, you don't even live here, blah, blah. And if you do live here, you shouldn't even be allowed to live here. What the heck? Brastard saw that. Did you notice that, Brastard? Then he came back and deleted it. All the man was doing was trying to help him out. Look, guys, here's the deal. Mateo is a moderator. Richard Hughes. Look, if Mateo was a jerk, just so you guys know this, and you guys are the good guys, but you guys get this, but Mateo could go in here right now. He could delete any one of your comments, like nothing, right? He could delete any of your comments in my videos too. He doesn't. He sat there and let this guy berate him for like hours. And you know what Mateo was doing? I got to get this off my chest. Look, I'm loath to use the word expert, but compared to me, so just comparatively, not compared to necessarily you guys, compared to me, okay? Mateo's like my ammo expert, okay? Meaning he knows like 50 times more about ammo, reloading, and stuff than I do. So I said, look, dude, I want to do this video. It might not be a success, and it's probably not going to be a successful video, whatever, but I just want to know what's going to happen if I shoot 9mm out of a 357 SIG. So I started off saying, am I going to hurt myself? He said, no, and he tells me all the reasons why. I'm not going to bore you guys, but he tells me, no, you're not going to hurt yourself. But bring a little rod, because if anything, you probably won't, but you could get a squib load. So then I could hurt myself, obviously, if I get a squib load and don't know it and shoot another round behind it. So that's why if you guys saw me doing that 9mm out of a 357 SIG, I'm shooting it and I'm kind of doing this and I'm kind of, that's just making sure there's no squib load, right? No squib load. Yeah, Vanessa Kitty's right. Went much, much slower, okay? And I said, look, dude, and this was a favor that I asked of him. I said, people are going to have some ballistics questions. I may know more than some of the guys because I'm not at the very low end of this. But if here's Mateo and here's like a complete noob, I'm like right here, okay? I'm still in the bottom 25th percentile. So I'm like, will you do me a huge favor, dude? Will you come in here and if there's any like ammo specific questions, will you help me out and kind of help answer some of the questions for this one video? I'd appreciate it. So that's what he was doing. He helped me out. And somebody got really, really mad in there because they said something stupid like 357 SIG always over penetrates and doesn't expand or something like that. And he came back and actually just said, hey, look, there was a study done by the Texas Rangers and the blah, blah, something highway patrol. I don't even remember now what it was. Again, that's why I asked him to help. He's the encyclopedia on this, okay? I'm the guy that rents pretty little girls, and I've got the pretty face, okay? That's the only reason I'm here. When it comes to the actual, value here, then there you go. So Mateo was just trying to help me, and somebody got really mad about it. So whatever. I saw Mateo talking about ballistics and calibers in that last video. I asked him to, and I want to thank him publicly for helping me out. Whatever, right? Mateo's going to trade me. He wants to start running the hot girls. Oh, geez. I mean, even Brastard will agree. Basically, the only point to me being on here is I'm just the pretty face for the channel, right? It's not like I really have any guns or anything like that. Francis, yes, we can talk about what's in the box right now, actually. 357 Magnum. Now, that's a good round. It's a 357 Magnum with the 10mm, which as it could be. Ooh. I'm sure I just got somebody mad. Okay. We've talked about these guns before, but I want to remind you guys, and again, it's not peer pressure, but look, so many times I wanted a Milsurp gun, and I didn't get into it till it was too late, and it's like, man, they're $500. And then you guys have to hear everyone say, well, back in the day when I bought it, they were only $200. How many of you guys have been there before? Or you're there right now, right? So here's a $200 Milsurp available right now. Now, as you can see, it's brown in color. Generally, it's post-consumer recycled material, the cellulose variety. But what makes this gun different than most is it has a strip of kind of like a polymer adhesive type substance going down the middle. Okay. Oh, you guys want to see the gun? I'm sorry. Yes, Switchbot, I do say that to you all the time. Does someone have a birthday in here? Here's a question. You're older than me. If you're older than me, then just stop celebrating birthdays, because I had the last one that I could admit to last year. This one was the one where I've stopped admitting. So I just saw the other day. These are back in stock again, guys. The Romanian TT33s, otherwise known as the Tokarev pistol. And back at the beginning, someone was talking about, Francis was, the 7.62 by 25. Now look, $200, guys. These are still available right now, back in stock from Classic. And the ones that I've bought, and look, I think these are such a good deal, and I just love these guns and love the round so much. I've honestly bought like 3 of these, or 4 of these now, I think, actually. And the ones I've got are like, you know, re-arsenaled, but basically like unissued in perfect condition after the arsenaling. For some reason, almost all of them made in 1953. Now, I've talked about these guns before, but I'm just reminding you guys, you know, because sometimes I feel kind of bad, but I still want to do the videos where I'll bring out like an old Chinese AK, you know, and I have the Bakelite side folder. Look, I wasn't showing that to brag or nothing, guys, but yeah, those are really, really expensive now. Were they always that expensive? No. Well, I'm trying to show you guys right now. These are still available. So if you guys are thinking about it, for $200, I couldn't recommend these more. I mean, these are forged guns, old school manufacturing techniques, very, very smooth platform. Fit and finish on these are very, very good. I like the bluing on them. Some of them have kind of a Parkerized finish that were refurbished, but in the end, it's kind of sort of, you know, the same thing. But just as a shooter, right? There's something about the 7.62 by 25. Now, it's a hot rod caliber. It's fast. We're talking like as fast, if not faster, than 357 SIG kind of speed, right? But the recoil on it's kind of like smooth. You guys know what I'm saying? Like there's some pop to it. There's a little fireball, but it doesn't hurt your hands or torque around or anything. It's just a nice, you know, smooth recoil impulse. Although the round itself, I believe, and I'll defer to my ammo experts here, I believe it's actually a fairly high pressure round. But there's still something about it. So you're looking at basically a 30 caliber projectile. It's a bottlenecked, you know, necked down cartridge. So in that's where the comparison could be to 357 SIG. But really, you should be comparing 357 SIG to this, because this came out, about 70 years before 357 SIG. So, yeah. Actually, Johnny Powell guessed it before I even brought it out. He said, looks like a Romanian Tokarev box. Jeez, oh, Pete. Yeah, so these are Romanian. The brand, if you will, would basically be the Cougar factory, or a better way to put it is this is just a milsurp, right? So this is Romanian military surplus made at the state arsenal, you know, the state-run, government-run, you know, arsenal, which is in the town of Cougar, C-U-G-I-R. Now, this is the same factory where these were made that our Wassers are still made today, the Wasser 10 AKs. So, yeah, great little guns. I mean, they're dated to a point, don't get me wrong, relatively low, you know, magazine capacity. They've got a little weight to them, which weight can be a detriment or it could be a plus, because part of the reason why these are such smooth shooters is because they got some weight to them, right? Single action. Nice trigger. I mean, it really is. Single action only. So you're going to have to, you know, manually cock the hammer. And obviously, each subsequent shot, it's going to cock it for you. So no big deal there. But yeah, this particular one has a very nice trigger. Kind of sort of like a, like a poor man's 1911, if you really think about it. These have definitely got some Browning inspiration to them. I don't think there's any way to deny that whatsoever. So, Oh, geez, Bretta, man. How's it going? Nice to see you. Better late than never, man. You know what? Francis brings up a good point. I wonder if Cougar would make new production Tokarevs if we ask for it. I wonder if they would. Now, first, these are all going to have to kind of sell out, right? Because they're only 200. But then again, though, Romania might do it as far as what Yugoslavia did. So I'll show you guys a perfect example. And I think this is what Francis is talking about, right? So as we know, the M57s, the Yugo Tokarevs, right? Let me move a couple things here. Hold on, make sure the rental girl hasn't texted me back yet. All right, I'll book her rental appointments later. So in Yugoslavia, trust me, guys, I'm going to circle back around to the Romanians in 1 second. We have classic pistols that were actually made for Yugoslavian service, right? This is that M70, by the way. I kind of alluded to that the other day. This is a 9mm. Regular old 9mm Parabellum Luger. M70A. Okay. We also have the older M57 service pistols that were made for the Yugoslavian, People's Army, right? But even though these were coming in on the market for like $200 as surplus, simultaneously the same, now Serbia, former Yugoslavian factory, known as Zastava, they were making commercial production too. So, yeah, I could actually see Romania doing something like that. Ronald Girl's a new meme for this channel. I actually think that's a good idea. I should do an Instagram post. By the way, I do have Instagram now, guys. I have 10 followers, which means I'm going to put up the naked pic if I can't get my numbers up pretty soon, guys. So, but yeah, they could kind of do what Yugoslavia did, right? Because as I just showed you, let me pull it back out here again, just so we're on the same page. This was a service model. So this is a surplus Yugoslavian M70, right? 9mm, full-size Tokarev, okay? And then this is an M70A modern production. So you were able to purchase these brand new from the same factory that Yugo was made, but it was Yugoslavia then, and then in present day, Zastava, Serbia. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. We could have the surplus TT-33s for sale at the same time as simultaneously selling the the modern production. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's what you were talking about, Francis, but I think there's a good correlation here. And then, of course, at the same time that these were being made, we were getting all the parts kits cut up, M70s, M72, Zastava, Yugo AK kits, while we could buy brand new ones. So I'll show you guys another example of that, too. So here's a Serbian NPAP, and this could have been bought brand new, okay? Right around the same time that you could get a Yugoslavian parts kit gun, right? So here you go. This is from a Yugo parts kit. So yeah, this has been done before. Yugoslavia is about the only country, Yugoslavia/Serbia, that I can think of that's actually done this, where you could buy the old stuff as surplus, whether it's parts kits or in the case of the Tokarev's complete guns, while at the same time you could buy a modern reproduction clone of the same exact gun. You might be onto something, man. I know I went off on a huge, tangent on this, but let's see if we can get a little movement going for that, Francis. I think that'd be pretty cool, to be honest with you. Kind of like how Yugoslavia did. Yugoslavia/Serbia. because it's both, right? That's why I keep on saying both. The old surplus stuff will say Yugoslavia on it because that's what the country was. Well, Yugoslavia had fallen by the time the new production was made. So now it's going to say, Serbia on it, Croatia on it, Macedonia, whatever, right? Yeah, here's an old NPAP. I say old because this current model's out of production now, I mean, it might be under production, but under a new name. It's no longer called the NPAP, right? Because now they're importing them as Zastava USA, and they've added hundreds of dollars onto the price of what it was when it was a Century import. I'm not a Century fan either. Don't mistake what I'm saying, guys. But, I mean, Century's fine for this stuff, right? Like this, where they don't touch it at all. Well, yeah, they're just the importer. But Century, they've ruined a lot of good guns in their life. Let's put it that way. Way more than I'd like to even think about. What's happening, Rockford Ordnance? How you doing, man? Actually, Rockford Ordnance knows all about these. If you guys are looking for a good Tokarev video, on my channel here in the next week or two. But if you don't want to wait, head over to Rockford Ordnance. Check his out. He's done videos on the Tokarev, the AKs. So, let's see here. There was a question you were asking. Oh, what's a rental girl? Oh, geez. Let me post a link real quick. But yeah, it's a long story from earlier about a 15-year-old rental girl. Okay, let's see here, guys. I'm still live. I'm just not looking at the screen right now. I'm going to drop a link in here so you guys can see who Rental Girl is. But oh, that's cool. I see there must have been a Michael Jackson fan in here. I said Alien Ant Farm did a better job of Smooth Criminal, and someone gave me a thumbs down. It must be a Michael Jackson fan. Let's see here. Let me find. I'm trying to find you guys a link because I happen to have video evidence of said rental girl. All right, this is. Now look, the thing is, if you walked halfway into this, you could get the wrong impression, okay? Because she's not 15 years old anymore, just so you know. All right, there's Rental Girl for you. Just for you, Rockford. It's on special request. Vanessa Kitty gave me a follow. Awesome. Awesome. I will be sure to follow you back, too. I'm just now getting into IG, guys. I have 3 pictures up. I don't even know how to find anybody on there, to be all honesty. I kind of did, an announcement of it in last stream, and anyone that's followed me, it was funny. I actually found one person, okay, on there, totally on my own, but it was not in the gun channels at all, like not whatsoever. I was actually, believe it or not, I don't know how I found this person under there. It must be hashtags or secret algorithms or whatever, but I was on there looking up different, I was looking at horses, different horse farms and horse IGers, and I actually found one of the people that I knew. It's also a gun person, by the way, but I didn't find them in any of the gun IG stuff. So there's something really weird about this IG's algorithm. I think it's because I'm not established. Even though I want to look at gun stuff, they're showing me everything but guns. I mean, they're showing me Transformers. They're showing me all kinds of stuff, right? So, let's see here. Mihoy Menyoy. Why is my PP so small? Well, that's easy. On the keyboard, if you just type in the regular P, it's lowercase. But if you hold in Shift, okay, and then hit the letter P, then it gets much bigger. So hopefully that gives you a hopefully that helps you. I'm always trying to help people. M70 AB2, Rockford said. You guys want to see a M70 AB2? Hold on a second. By the way, that video I did yesterday, using the new holster, loving it. This holster is pretty sweet. I knew I was going to like that holster right away. Brother Man says too much info. Vanessa Kitty, my jump boot can fix that problem. Yeah, so here's somebody said something about the M70 AB2. There we go. Now this is a Century product. Century actually built this gun off of a parts kit. And they actually didn't do too bad of a job with these. This probably is one of the better, quote unquote, you know. Thanks, Mihoy. I'm glad you like it. Now, these are actually built off of original M70 AB2 parts kits, right? And Century did actually populate the barrels and press them into the trunnions and, you know, use their receivers. I mean, they subbed them out, but they were still considered to be a Century product, right? Now, there's different versions of these, too. In fact, I think Century might have done a few of them. Well, let me show you something here. So this one here, I actually have a couple of these, Rockford. I have this one here is actually marked, you know, M70 AB2 Century Arms Inc., Georgia, Vermont, right? AB2. Now, the other one, this is 7.62 by 39. Is the caliber of this one. Tank bolt hole open mag. I'm actually not a huge fan of these, but it's the correct for this gun, so. Now here's the old AB2. This M70 AB2 is actually, it says Century Arms on it, right? But right below it, it says model M70 AB2, DC Industries, Inc., St. Paul, Minnesota. So I think it might have been Vanessa Kitty or someone was talking about a Kunin earlier. So for those of you who don't know, before Dan Kunin went to, you know, his basically revolver round semi-auto pistol, he was into the AK too. So this particular one is actually made by DC Industries. I don't know if we can really see that. Yeah, there we go. DC Industries, St. Paul, Minnesota. Don't point that gun at me. Give me a break. But yeah. This one's a pretty good one. And you know what? Some of the later Century ones, and I hate it so bad when they do this, okay? They would scrub off the Zastava markings on the rear sight base here. Well, the Dan Kunin ones, mine and then the other ones I've seen, as far as I can tell, they always left the, you know, the original Zastava. And I don't know why it's having a hard time zooming. There we go. The famous Zastava Kragujevac, Yugoslavia. So that's cool. It's just those little things like that that, in my opinion, makes it where, I don't know, just makes it so much cooler, right, when they do that. But yeah, this has been a good rifle also. Haven't had any complaints about this one either. Same as when you buy your parts kits, you know, like the one I just showed you earlier. I just keep this until I do this build. I'm just kind of using it as a paperweight out here, you know. But yeah, same logo right there. Yeah, Rockford, I know what you're saying. They're all scrubbed pretty much. Except for some of the real early ones. And I don't know what their point was in scrubbing it. It doesn't really prove anything, right? But whatever. Yeah, these are little heavy devils, aren't they? I've got a Two Rivers gun right here, Rockford. You've seen my Two Rivers, haven't you? My Reweld here. This M64 is a Two Rivers. This gun was actually bought from the personal collection of one of the main builders at Two Rivers. I bought this from a guy that actually works there that's one of their builders. Yeah, so these are known as the M64. Technically, it's technically a very early M70. Now, these weren't prototypes, but these were never a standard issue either. But yeah, this is the very, very first generation Yugo AK. And quite frankly, all it was really actually called, according to them, was just simply AP. So basically, automatic rifle. But yeah, this is a reweld by Two Rivers. This is an original barreled parts kit. So this is the original cold hammer forged, non-chrome lined barrel. You can see where the first cut was done right here at the rear of the lightning cut. Now this was a bandsaw cut kit, so it had all three sections. There's the one weld, there's the second weld. So everything on here. No, they issued them. They did issue the mill guns, Rockford, and they did issue these. These were still just considered before they had an official designation, when they were still kind of experiment with the idea. So I didn't mean to give the wrong impression. No, there's the M70s, right? Mill guns, where they were actually quite prolific. Yes, they issued many of the mill guns. What this is this is a very early one, and it has a couple features that you're not going to find on the later models. So it does have the typical milled features with the vented gas tube instead of the vented gas block. It's got the grenade sight, which also serves as the gas shutoff, right? Now, if you look at the receiver, though, you're going to see this is definitely not a Type 3 cut receiver. So we're going to notice the receiver cuts are different. That's the first thing, right? And we're also going to notice where the Zastava. So we're back to that same old original Zastava Kragujevac, Yugoslavia, with the CZ logo, right? And it's in a different location, whereas on the actual main issue M70s, it's up here on the receiver. But notice that different receiver cut, okay? And then the big deal with this gun is this gun has a true integrated bolt hold open device. So not with the followers and the mags, but true bolt hold open. So for this gun, you have to use, if you have a functioning bolt hold open device, which this one actually does. You can see part of it right there. This actually was restored by Two Rivers with help from Matt Yemens. My Guns Northwest, he goes by Turbo This online, right? So he actually, Two Rivers did the weld and the reweld and the build, but they actually sent it to Matt Yemens to have him carefully reproduce and recreate the bolt hold open parts, because they're usually cut right through where that part of the gun is. So anyways, I'm gonna rack the gun back, right? So it's holding open. Well, so did the M70 I just showed you guys, right? The AB2. But here, when I release the mag, it still stays held open. So this is a true last round bolt hold open device. And if you look at the mag itself, there's a little notch here that's cut in the mag body that allows the follower to come up here and interface with the bolt hold open device, right? It's like a long leaf spring and whatnot, if you will. So here's how this works. This M64 mag, you can use that. It's forwards compatible. You can use that in any AK, AKM. However, you cannot use a regular AKM mag in this M64 gun, or it's either not gonna go into the gun, or you're gonna damage the bolt hold open device because it needs this little clearance notch, right? So yep, it takes a special mag. And I don't want to use the wrong words for this. It's actually kind of hard to describe it. These weren't like prototypes necessarily. They just didn't get an original military designation. So there were still thousands of these made, and they were used in service, but they weren't made by the hundreds of thousands as the actual M70 marked guns were. Because really the real name for this is actually just simply AP. But it's also correct to call it a M64 because that's what collectors and enthusiasts in this country call it. So I think you guys know what I mean. And then a couple little things too that are a little different on these M64s. If you know, instead of the normal solid polymer pistol grip, there's actually a metal ferrule on the top of this pistol grip here. Okay. So that's a noticeable difference. And these grips are kind of rare, actually. You don't see these too often. You know, this gun has a correct period early pattern on it. It has the early pattern leather oil pouch, you know, properly carried on the sling. And before they went to the polymer oil pouches, they did use the brass. So this is an early, you know, brass style oil bottle. It has the original full auto selector markings here. The U, the R, and the J. Now, these were not added on after the fact. If you look at where the welds were, okay, this is actually the original center section of this gun. And you'll actually note that before the gun was welded together, you have to do it in this order, okay? You have to do it in this order. First, while it was still cut up, he welded in the third pin hole. So here's where the third pin used to be for the retarder, the auto sear, rather, the safety sear. So he filled in where the third pinhole would be with weld properly, according to ATF spec, in the centerpiece, then welded the gun together. So when I say this gun's original, it's pretty much as original as it can get. You can even see where the third pinhole used to be. So these are not simulated or reproduced marks. These are the actual original ones, as well as the selector markings. But I always thought this gun looked cool, you know, especially from this side. Definitely a different receiver profile than what we're normally used to, right? So yeah, these are kind of hard to find, and the ones you do find usually don't have a functioning bolt hole open device. And the only reason I have one with it is because, again, this was made by an insider. The actual man had it in his safe, you know, for several years after he built it. This was built by an actual Two Rivers employee who happened to be friends with Matt Yemens. So, and these guys work together. These guys are competitors, but they're friends, you know. Two of the best companies I know of that re-weld guns work together as a collaboration on this project. So, which you'll find that in a lot, you know, in the gun manufacturing, you know, community where, yeah, they're competitors. Yeah, they're trying to outdo each other to a point, but in the end, they're all good friends. And when it comes to Two Rivers and Matt Yemens, they're so freaking far behind. They're already a year or two behind on their builds, so it's not like they're really that cutthroat with each other. You know what I'm saying? A good AK builder, yeah, they don't really have to worry about a lot of business nowadays. But yeah, and then if I want this bolt to close, I'm just going to pull it back. And now that there's no mag, I'm no longer, you know, acting on the bolt hold open device. You know, everything else about this gun's pretty similar to a normal milled AK. You know, it's got the milled, you know, mag release. It's got the heavy, thick, non-gusseted, non-rib dust cover. You know, it's got a milled stock. So yeah, pretty nice. Who's had yours for 9 weeks? Rockford Ordnance. Because if it's a year, I wouldn't be too pissed. Well, I'd be pissed. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be too surprised. Yeah, I'll just play it like that a little bit. No, that doesn't look as good. I'm sorry. That looks better. Thanks, Beretta, man. I appreciate you reminding guys to give me the thumbs up. That makes it where it's worth doing it. Now, I'm not all about the thumbs up, but if I know you guys are having a good time is what makes it worth me doing these streams, you know? It's not like I'm making any money doing this. It's just fun. Contrary to what the title of the video says. Now, that was just my sense of humor. You got someone that's in the chat right now. I was talking to him briefly on the phone. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to name my stream tonight. Trying to have some fun. Somebody, Vanessa Kitty, gave me a thumbs down. They always do. There's someone that comes into every one of my videos and gives me a thumbs down no matter what. I posted a video 2 days ago, okay? And I posted the video. It was saying processing, hadn't even gone live yet. As soon as it popped up and was displayed public, I clicked on it just to make sure it would play, you know. I always check my video and play at least the first minute of it, right? It already had a thumbs down before it was even posted. And usually on most weeks when I do my streams, I'll put like, you know, starting in 10 minutes to give you guys time to get alerts or whatever you need to do. Put your diaper on because you're going to piss yourself because you hate my stream so bad. Whatever you got to do, right? I give you guys 10 minutes notice. It's pretty common for me to usually have my first thumbs up during that 10 minutes before I even go on. So, oh, evil man. I was in that video, man. I know what you're talking about. Beretta Man has been called an evil man before. That's actually no joke at all. Switch Pod. Is someone messing with him right now? I have to go over there and look, to be honest with you. I've seen it in the past, though, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the same one that's getting him as is getting me, to be honest with you. Maybe not. I really don't even know. I could care less. But, yeah, they... some people out there are kind of goofy. Ooh, Vanessa, that's awesome. I appreciate that. She says, send them here to town. We can have a chat at a coffee shop. And then if things don't go well, you take them fishing, right? Oh, geez. That's a good one. No, I appreciate you guys having my back. But, yeah, it always happens. I don't like to talk about it. But if someone's going to bring it up, yeah, I have a secret admirer. And, oh, Texas Outlaw. How did you sneak in here, man? How's it going? Good to see you. No, I meant that as a true compliment in your video the other day, man. It might have come off as I was joking, but I'm like, man, you get a lot of fan mail. You really do. And I know there's a reason why. I know you do, man. You're kind of a go-to guy in the gun community. What do you guys think? Michael Science. He's probably one of the go-to guys, isn't he? Over the last few years on YouTube. You know, you go through and he's one of those guys that always pretty darn good comment too. So yeah, man, I meant that as a total compliment to you. You do get a fan mail, and I understand why. And actually, to be honest with you, I'd like to send the channel something. I just don't really know your address to send it to. And I don't want you to say it here in the in the public or nothing, but I'd like to send your channel something. What do you guys think about Michael Science? Is he pretty good or what? Yeah, this chat does have some of the best people in it. I mean, not me. I'm just here for my good looks. I'll say that one more time. But oh, that's obviously a joke. That joke choked me up, guys. I gotta. Don't worry, guys. I'm not driving. I'm not driving. Let's see here. Ooh, Vanessa Kitty, if the search team gets close, they might find them. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Scott Chrysler said the second one was me. Do I have 2 thumbs downs now? I only have 1, I thought. Ooh, I do have 2. Ooh. Guess what, guys? Give me a 3rd. It's not going to do anything. But if it makes you feel better, that's fine. I'd love to brighten your day. No, that is the thing about you, Texas Outlaw. You're just a regular dude. I wouldn't have it any other way. You just get a lot of freaking fan mail because you're a cool dude. I know you're a humble man too, trust me, but I'm doing the bragging for you. You didn't put me up to this. You're probably mad that I'm doing it, but whatever. Deal with it. Americans First gave me a thumbs up. Yeah, I hear you, brother, man. Close enough. Yeah. Even though I'm showing, you know, showing a bunch of Yugo guns, but I'll have another Beretta gun in here soon for you. Oh, speaking of Yugoslavia, here's a Croatian gun. You guys like Croatian-made guns? Made in Croatia. I don't know if he's still in here, but imported into the great state of Tennessee. Cave Dave. Cave Dave was the importer of this gun. Right? Yeah. The good old IM Metal HS2000. This is actually a great, great gun, guys. I love this thing. Been carrying one of these for years and years. I don't care what anyone says. These HS2000s made in Croatia. Excellent, excellent little guns. Bastard says he got rid of all of his SKSs. Well, I had to, because here's the problem. The rental girl, the girl I rented, you know, she's older now, but she was only 15 when I met her. So, yeah, lawyer fees. I had to sell my SKSs. Oh, Johnny, no, this is not that, actually. That's not what this is. This is an HS2000. Okay, made in Croatia. By HS Product. IM Metal. I don't know why it won't focus, but yeah, this is definitely not that company that sold Illinois' rights up the river. Trust me. I wouldn't show that company's name on here, to be quite frank with you guys. But yeah, you'll notice there's no, you know, Picatinny rail on this. There's the finer, you know, slide serrations. This is the real deal. But I know you're just messing with me, Johnny. It's all good, man. Let's see here. What did... Exactly, Vanessa. And that's not what this is. Trust me, this is not, that's not what this is. It may look like it, but this is most definitely. This is most definitely not the brand that sold gun rights up the river. This is an actual HS product, IM Metal, made in Croatia. So now, did somebody else clone this later? Yeah, maybe, but this is the real deal. I mean, I got people in here from Illinois, at least two that I can see. I've got Rockford Ordnance, I've got the Texas Outlaw, and there's probably someone hiding in the weeds from Illinois in here too, to be honest with you. Ooh, Vanessa Kitty, my jump boots are much older than most trolls. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's nice of you, Vanessa. I appreciate that. She says, I've been following you for a while now. If anyone gives you thumbs downs, tell them to look me up. It will be fun. Man, do I get to watch? I want to buy front row tickets. I wouldn't mess with you. I would not mess with you because you were in the service long enough, and with your college degree, you're probably smart enough to know what to do also. I think I probably got that right. Connecticut. That's another state I've never been to. I've never really been on the northern East Coast-ish, and I've never been all the way to the west. I mean, I've been on the East Coast, but like Virginia and North Carolina and whatnot, you know, Florida. I've been on the East Coast of Florida, but I've never made it that far north. No reason not to. I've just never done it. I've kind of wanted to go up the East Coast because, I mean, I'm going to avoid like New York City and, you know, a lot of those kinds of places, of course, but there's a lot of beautiful country out there on the east side for sure. Yeah. Yeah, HK, because you suck and we hate you. Let's see here. But yeah, you guys know what this is. You guys know this is not. These are kind of hard to find though, aren't they? You don't really see many of these anymore, but this is the real deal. This is definitely not Mr. Reese's company. Love this gun though. Oh, you can film the jump site for me. She said I can fill the jump site. I'm like, dang. That's got to be a small jump site or you're really big, right? Ooh, I'm lucky she's all the way in Connecticut. You're definitely not supposed to even joke about that with a lady, but you know I'm joking, right? She did say I could fill the jump site. I mean, I got to razz her a little bit. Come on. If not, poor conservative. Oh, come on. Just as I was ready to let you off the hook, man. Poor conservative says cheap lawyer if you pay with SKS money. Oh, man. I got an SKS here. Oh, SKS. Never heard of her before. Uh, 6'3". My jump boots are big. My jump boots are big. Gotcha. So what if somebody already has a horseshoe up their ass and they walk around with a horseshoe up their ass? It's a long story, trust me. And then you kick them in the ass with your jump boots. What happens to the horseshoe? Ooh. Because this troll does run around with the horseshoe up their ass, unfortunately. They're one of those kind. They're always just lucky enough. Just as they're about to get busted, they You guys know the kind, right? I'm having a cleaning rod malfunction here, boys. There's enough oil on this gun where I'm trying to push the cleaning rod back in where it goes, and it's kind of stuck here. I'll deal with it after the fact. Uh-oh. Bayonet. Fixed bayonets, boys. We're ready to roll in. Yeah, so here's an early Sino-Soviet. Not a real early gun, but pretty early, actually. All right, I take that back. I lied. This one's actually really early. This is before they put any Chinese characters on the gun. And this one has a 6-digit serial number. So we're looking at something that was made certainly in the first quarter of 1956, which is the year that they, started making them. The Type 56 rifle. So this is the Type 56 rifle, right? And then the Type 56 carbine would be the Kalashnikov variant, the AK. Do I sharpen my bayonets? I've been known to for fun, okay? I've been known for fun to do, yeah, I was trying to do that, Brastard, and then I got sidetracked. I had the bayonet halfway, and then it's just kind of stuck right on this. There we go. I got it now. Yeah, that's what I was doing a second ago, and then I was like, oh, that would look good. But yeah, I knew that, but thanks for reminding me. I'm getting caught up reading the comments here, and ooh, don't eat the fish, Scott Chrysler said. Ooh. What are you guys talking about here? Yeah, like Michael Science said, their luck runs out or up. Oh, man. I thought Scott Chrysler was referring to, maybe it's someone that's out fishing right now that's trolling me. That's what I thought you meant when you said don't eat the fish. Vanessa, on these kinds of guns, no. I'm going to keep this in original military configuration. This is a real early gun. I enjoy the history behind it. So, no, I'm not going to sharpen it because it's going to, take away from its originality. I know that sounds kind of geeky, but I've bought just regular cheap AK bayonets and sharpened them up pretty good before. Made myself a nice little cheap Rambo survival knife. Maybe next year is the year of the SKS. I know. I'm really looking forward to it too. It's just, gosh, it's just been so busy. It rained 6 out of the last 7 days, guys. It sucks. The horseshoe. Oh, Vanessa Kitty said the horseshoe becomes their dentures. Yes. I like her. What do you guys think? Do you guys like Vanessa Kitty? I think I like her quite a bit. That's hilarious. Thanks for making me laugh. Ooh. Gil 874. How's it going? Do I have a Mac 90? Yes, sir. Not on me right now. I don't have any up here. But yeah, I've got a few Mac 90s actually. I do. And I've seen Vanessa in here on and off quite a few times. So it's not like she's new, but this is the first time we've really got to, chat. And she's talking about, sticking a boot so far up their ass the horseshoe becomes their dentures. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, Mac 90s. Yep. Let's see here. The only thing I know, I don't have a Mac 90. I've got a Chinese AK here. And I have something else that was running around the same time, Gil. Maybe this will fit in. I'll fill in a little bit. But I do have era, early 90s, band era SKS Sporter that takes AK mags. They switched over to these, Mac 90-ish stocks. I mean, this is different than a Mac 90 stock, obviously, but it still has the band era thumb hole stock. Now, don't underestimate this stock, guys. This particular stock, this exact one that's on these Sporters, this is actually very, very comfortable, nice stock to shoot with. It really, really is. But yeah, I know it's not even close to being a Mac 90, but it's kind of sort of the closest thing I would have right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put some more oil on this gun. The bluing's really pretty on these old Chinese AKs. The problem is if you just look at them sideways, they rust. Let's see here. Yeah, no problem, Gil. Thanks for asking. But yeah, I am into the all AKs, to be honest, but the Chinese ones, yeah. Quite a few of those too. Ryan Fixer, how's it going, man? Where you been? You been here the whole night? If you haven't been and you just came, don't ask about the rental girl. Links up there in the chat if you guys want to see who she is, okay? Brastard saying, yeah, it's better than the M models, Monte Carlo stock, but doesn't look as good. Yeah. And I do have one of the pre-ban SKSDs too. They made a small amount of them. Navy Arms imports for you SKS geeks. I have a Navy Arms at home that has, the regular SKS stock, still takes the AK mags, actually has the bayonet because it was pre-89. So the first, assault weapon, the George Bush assault weapons ban, or assault rifles ban, I should say, didn't take effect then. So this is the Sporter, 90s, early 90s era. This one, 93. This one was made in 1993, for example. But I do have one that was made, probably brought into the country in 87 or 88, the old Navy Arms. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here in 1 second. Let me just take another quick peek at the comments. Orion wants to know, with the bayonet deployed, does an SKS become a tactical spear? Actually, yeah. I was just talking to someone about that the other day on the phone, actually. Someone that doesn't like bayonets, but they'll tell you. I said, I'm a bayonet fan. I actually am. Yeah, thanks, Vanessa Kitty. Yep, Texas Outlaws got some old old Navy Arms cap and ball revolver, the 36 cal, right? Now, Navy Arms was the importer, and it's kind of a known thing in the SKS collectible world because there was a small batch of SKSDs, they were called, that were pre-banned, and they were like the Navy Arms is like the real one. I think Brastard knows what I'm talking about. Maybe Rockford Ordnance too, actually. Hey, I have a Rockford Ordnance. I have a tap code one too. So, well, I like knives, and I think this other person likes knives. They just didn't like the idea of putting a bayonet on a rifle. We were talking more like an AK or even an M16 bayonet, and I was talking about how my M16A1 rebuild. So it's an original Colt Vietnam era M16A1, right? Of course, the lower receiver has been switched out to a AR-15. But other than that, everything's all original, military on it. So with the 20-inch A1, I'm actually able to affix a bayonet to him. And I told him, hey, I actually would, if like SHTF or whatever, I would actually affix the bayonet and take it out into battle. I'm like an M16 or a Kalashnikov. If that's what the debate was. So, yeah. Yeah, I like bayonets quite a bit too. So I should, and somebody wanted to see a show on bayonets actually, and I should do that. I think it was actually one of my Patreon supporters that asked. And if any of you guys that are Patreon supporters asked me to see a certain gun, trust me, I've not forgotten about you, and I really appreciate you. I'll catch up, guys. The weather's been so finicky lately. Like, I get out there and I start working and it rains and I have to pack up, and I'm not really making any money, getting a lot done, but I'm getting more behind too. It's just rained a ton lately, you know? Yeah, Braster, calling them an SKSD can be a catch-all for all. That's why I'm being very specific. Yes, you're absolutely right. They call them SKSDs. The one I'm referring to actually literally says SKSD Navy Arms. It's a pre-89 band. It has the bayonet, and you know what I'm talking about, right, Braster? That's why I was being so specific earlier. I like to display them with the bayonets, and I would use one, I think, in certain circumstances, especially the AK ones. You know, they can be coupled together with the sheath as a wire cutter. If you got some barbed wire, whatever. If you're trying to, cut the handcuffs off of your buddy because he was renting a girl or whatever, Vanessa Kitty, that's a good point too. Yep. They wouldn't say that if they were in the trenches. As many weapons carried as possible. You know what? It's kind of funny you say that, Rockford Ordnance. I wouldn't mind doing that. Look, I'm in Michigan. I'm a member of a private club. There's a range right down the road from me, an indoor range, here on Valley Guns. I just did 2 videos about them, basically. And I also have private property to shoot on and stuff. Yeah, Michigan. I don't know how far that is for most people, but that would be cool to do. It really would. Does the one in my hand say NR? No, I was thinking a few people, like, if I'm missing somebody, let me know. But just people that are kind of, I think, maybe close enough, especially if a little carpooling occurred. You got Rockford Ordnance. You've got Orion Fixer. You've got Texas Outlaw. I mean, those 3 guys are all in the same state. And then you've got Poor Conservative on the west side of the state. Like, I don't know how you guys would do it, but there would be technically a way where you guys could, kind of hook up with each other in Illinois, do some driving, get to the west side of Michigan, pitch in some gas money, and further carpool over. I don't know. I mean, I'm less than 2 hours away from Poor Conservative. If you guys are familiar with, and I don't know exactly where you guys live that are in Illinois, but let's just say Chicago, that's 4 hours or so, right? So I-90 West. I've never been on I-90, to be honest. But I've never been out to the East Coast either. Yeah, so I just say Chicago because that's kind of, the bottom of the state there, right? Okay, what were you asking me, Brastard, is on this one? This one is a SKS Sporter. Here, let me see if I can zoom in enough for it to show the actual roll mark on here. Dang it. There's a flashlight here stuck to the metal desk. Let me see if I can get a little closer now. Let's see what this will do. Okay, SKS Sporter, 7.62 by 39, made in China. 93. But yeah, made in China by Norinco. Is that what that says? Yeah. Man, you guys are from all over the place, aren't you? Yeah, good night, Tree Guy. I'm getting off here too. I also have an extremely long day. I've just had a lot of fun tonight. So I'm going to sign off here in 1 second, guys. Let's hold that thought, though, and let's talk to each other. It would be fun to do, Oh, Michigan's one of the 5 Vanessa Kitty hasn't been to. Okay. Yeah, I-90 goes from coast to coast. Gotcha. So I don't know. Maybe I've been down I-90 and I just can't remember. I must have been on it then because I've been around here and there. I mean, I don't get around much. I mean, I go home to the same woman every night, so I don't get around. But I get around. You guys know what I'm saying. All right, I'm gonna get off here. But yeah, I've been just as per conservative. I've been messaging him back and forth because as far as I can tell, he's the closest one to me, right? So, but yeah, let's talk, guys. I'll be slowing down here in a little bit for the season, so I appreciate it, guys. I had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you very much. I stayed on for 2.5 hours. It felt like 15 minutes because of you guys, because of your comments. And I just appreciate every one of you and had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. So I have your email too, and we will get together soon, guys. And yeah, let's get a group email going. I have most of your emails already. But yeah, I had a great time too. I agree, Vanessa. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off because if not, I'll stay up all night and I'll be hurting tomorrow, right? So, all right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching and have a good one.